we're gonna get started and hope he drops on in. So 1, 2, 3, go, I guess. So we're gonna continue our quest in Isborsk. Our patron Morg from Novgorod wanted us to regain a magic relic he left behind during a quest there as a youth. The mayor of Isborsk was abducted because of what we did, but we never found him. We took a shortcut 2 weeks ago and ended up right into the underworld Foundry of Tidevannsurverk. You can probably actually even do a Google Translate on that and find something about it. So, we're not going to be fighting any sort of fiendish toll booths, and we won't have to get across an ornate floor. We won't have Conrad telling us to make sure that we temper our words whenever we speak about what we see, which is probably wise advice for anyone. But we've entered through the Great Iron Gate, and we are on this underworld. Now, I got Rusty in the Tellurium map, but I will allow him to pass the baton to anyone else if he doesn't want to make the decisions.
Who's supposed to be in charge?
I think it's technically Laura's mission, because she's the one that's both trying to get rid of the Shield of Einherjar and also bring back what Morg asked her to bring.
Is also student House Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings to keep his financial records.
I hear Elijah Cummings in the background. Somebody's got the news on, I guess.
Sorry, I'll mute Prince.
No, that's okay.
Good.
Okay, so let's see. So I have to move in the Isborsk underworld.
You're actually in the Tidevannsurverk. In fact, let me. If I take Isborsk underworld away, it'll come back funny when I re-add it. Do you see a Tidevannsurverk?
Wait a minute. Let me shrink this a little bit.
I'll hit the focus and make everyone come there.
Oh, the Tidevann. Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, I was in the wrong map last time.
Yeah, you're in the wrong map starting here too. So we need to get you back on the same page, because I don't want you to be thinking you're going south, and not realize where you're at. This is the castle where each area seems to be a pure metal, and it goes on forever. It just so happened the last one you entered, the Tellurium room. Was it the Niobium room or the Tellurium room? Well, one or the other was a tesseract that trapped you in.
It was the Tellurium room, because that's where my icon is right now.
Yeah.
So
it was the Niobium room that was Veil Magic that tried to trap us there.
Yeah. Let's see. The place Niobium looks like carved gold, and we had to convince somebody was actually. Oh, I think it was Greg, who won't be here with us this week, who became our designated scapegoat for. But Rusty, you can actually go back into the Niobium room, or you can go forward in the underworld to another block.
Let's go down the little red in the southeast direction. Okay. It looks like.
How about if we put you in the Rhenium room?
The Rhenium room. Oh boy.
Okay, let me read my notes on Rhenium. Couldn't be that bad. Rhenium, by now the group has eaten nearly all of its food, so your servitors are complaining about that. Weakness and sickness will soon follow. There's no way you're ever going to grow anything down here. I'm going to give you one roll on the Q&D austerity, improvisation, and salvage on the cup coin event of baggage. So let's see what that is going to put us at. I got to go into my travel encounters here. Underworld, cup coin. How bad can these be?
Well, you wrote them. We could all die right here.
No, there's Mike.
Cup coin baggage is what it is?
Yeah, I got cup coin, and right at the bottom of that there's a Q&D austerity, improvisation, and salvage, if I can get my tongue-tied state a little bit loosened. And I'm going to flip a card for Rusty, because he's always our designated first person to take a card. And I'm going to give you a queen, Rusty, under that table. Do you guys have it in the tool, or do I need to post it for you all?
Yeah, it looks like it's in the tool.
I think it's in the tool.
Yeah, there it is. Go ahead and read it out for us, Rusty.
Make a feast of culled packed dogs or lesser critters caught and warmed on a spit. Fail and suffer a vicious wound.
Good for you, Rusty. It's not even a bane.
Oh,
It turns out it is.
Note, since the advantage might be gained upon success, consider that recruitment coming from a sociable denizen recently encountered. In freestyle play, much is happening, yet not all is detailed until inferred or needed.
So what I'm reading into that is the fact that goblin flesh is tasting pretty good right now, and nobody is actually considering that cannibalism. It's just another form of long pork. But Rusty, do we have the longboat and human watchdogs with us? Let me check that techniques. And we do have, so you're going to roll 3 dice for this. So you're going to roll 3 dice and give me an 8. If you fail on this roll, you're going to take a vicious. Did you want to risk it, or do you want to use a make roll for that?
No, I'll risk it.
Okay, 3 dice for an 8.
I don't have a lot of mic rolls left, so.
All right, Rusty has rolled his 12, and he's successful. I go on to Conrad. Conrad, same table. I'm going to give you
a quest pip as well, right?
Oh, yes, quest pip of 1. Thank you. I should probably have mentioned that. Quest pip of 1, and I think we fought an Iron Giant before he came in here. And a king for you, Conrad.
Kings are always good.
The kings are good.
Persuade your near feral followers to share and share alike. No skulking and hiding crumbs. Success in this encounter ends. Difficulty 7, advantage skill, houndsman beasts, which is, I don't believe I have that because it's a rugged skill. I do not have that, so I'm looking for a 7, looking for a 6 on 2 dice. And that was what I was going to say. 6 on 2 dice.
That may be what we're eating right now.
Success.
It is a success, and that does actually gives us a success to end the encounter. So now note this: there are 3 options to leave the Rhenium room, but every time you enter here, it's going to be so treacherously long in terms of days that you're going to have to go back to this table. So Rusty, you can go back to Tellurium and take a secondary route that you missed at Niobium, or you can choose one of the 2 routes out of here and hope it doesn't dead end and send you back into Rhenium. Your choice.
All right. How pleasant. Okay.
It doesn't get any. This is the easy part of the underworld.
I'm sure it is.
The hammering, if you're interested, is equally loud from both directions. The hammering.
Might I remind any of the lobies this is an attempt for ignobles here too.
Yeah, I think my character is hit 5, and merely scolding the guys that are starving. Yeah, I'm definitely level 5. It's not going to be enough for me. Do we have anyone below level 5? Yet in the game still. Rusty, is your guys 4?
No, he made 5 last.
Yeah, he made 5.
Time.
Yeah, I think we're all pretty advanced. Conrad, thank you for that.
We're all 5. I'm not sure about Laura, but she's not out here yet. I am 5.
My recollection was that Laura was still a 4, but she may have increased that last week. So
yeah, she didn't pull a card either.
Are you below level 5? Laura thinks she's level 4. If she's level 4, what ignoble were you thinking she might get for this?
Well, to Conrad made a good point. She didn't actually pull a card yet, so it would be.
I was trying to get everyone to remember that, especially the lobies, right?
Yeah, just say it's always good to remember to advance. Don't be so delighted by the danger that you forget what you're playing for.
So we're gonna go into the lower. East.
You actually have control of your character. If you want to nudge it in the right direction, I'll do the rest for you.
There you go.
How about we enter that?
Chromium.
The Chromium room. It's another thing that we love. Chromium room.
Can we eat it?
You may not eat the Chromium room. It is. Well, you could tell the guys it's chicken, but yeah, no, you're living on boiled goblin and boiled dog for the moment. Chromium.
If you're demigod, maybe you can eat the chromium.
Well, that's true. You might be able to, fill your teeth with it. Reflection from the walls confuses everything here. They also cause insanity and paranoia. The first player at random selects a swagger. Random. We hate when things go random. That means it could affect me. How many people do I have? About 8 or 9 around the table. Let me roll a
6
D20 and I'll just go around with it. So 8. 8 from Rusty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 puts me back to Rusty. Although I counted Greg, and Greg isn't here. That would be, to be fair, it's Conrad. Conrad, you're going to be the first that's going to have to select a swaggering. And then Techie Bay, nope, I just did hidden level. I thought I have to remember a fact that Laura said if I got that one ignoble for such and such, I can make the level in that. So here's what's going to happen, Conrad. You think you see something that you need to attack, so select a technique, a swaggering technique.
I assume it has to be one I have, correct?
Yes, it should be one you have.
So right off the top, we'll go charismatic style.
All right, charismatic style. And let me go to page 191. And then we go on to Laura. How many swaggering do you have?
Laura is typing in, but she's still away from the microphone.
Okay, go ahead, Mike. How many swaggering do you have?
In total or just personal?
Oh yeah, you're bringing up a good point. I'm thinking like Cutlass. Pick a category of swaggering. Let me phrase it more like that.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Magic. Okay. So, and Conrad, you picked what swaggering again?
Personal, charismatic style C.
Charismatic style C. Okay. So, Mike, I'm going to go through them, and if you have one that you can get an inconclusive result, all the better. If you don't have one in that style that won't get it's going to end up with an X or an O, then you're going to either lose it or take Conrad's. All right. Okay. Do you have B, C, D, I, K, N, Q, or S?
I have B.
Just to keep this moving fluidly, just go ahead and pick one that you have.
C.
Yeah, so you're going to do charismatic style and charismatic style, which we're starting a trend here. So Conrad attacks the wall. You overreact to it, and you also begin to attack the wall. And then I go on to Tony. Tony, pick a category of swaggering that you have: magic, personal.
I'll say blade.
Okay, so you're going to pick blade. So I'm going to go through again with you. Do you have B, C, D, I, K, N, Q, or S?
Yes and no. So I have some of those and not another.
You should pick one that you have that I listed because it will result in an inconclusive result, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
For instance, you don't want to pick A because that means you would take away, you would disarm Mike and cause him to lose confidence in his charismatic style. That's not your goal here.
Well, that's tempting, but okay, I'll go C.
It is. But I can't give you an ignoble for that unless you personally wanted to hate Mike.
C.
But there's no reason to hate Mike.
Well, Mike.
Bruce, on the other hand, no, I'm teasing. I tease Bruce. Okay, so which one did you do, Tony?
Bounding C.
Bounding C, very good. So everyone's so once again, Tony joins the reflection, and he's attacking the chrome walls. And I go on to Bruce. Bruce, you're obviously going to use magic. And did you remember the numbers? Do you have B, swaggering and magic, C, D?
I do have psionics. So
you have psionics with B, which is fine. Psionic is going to take us maybe one.
If you have
touch.
C, Bruce, we already know what that one is, right?
Thank you.
I don't have C though.
Okay.
B is a better valor and psionics are good, except for the fact they could result in people running away. Do you have D or I?
Yeah, I have D. I have telekinesis.
Why don't you use telekinesis and start blasting rocks and stuff, breaking up the mirrors in the chromium room? Does that work for you? Okay,
sure.
And that means that it sobers up Tony, and then I go on to my character. My character has, and I'm just looking, I would use a personal swaggering, and do I have C? I don't have C, but let me see. I'm looking at D. I would like C or D. I do not have C or D. Do I have I? Oh, it's getting tight. I do have eyes. I'm going to use a feign on the telekinesis, and which results in a neutral thing. And I go on to Rusty. So I've used technique I, Rusty. So you need to first pick, and I'm sure it's going to be wizardry for you as well, correct?
Right.
Okay. So do you have, and I'll read them off.
Devil man.
B, C, F, I, N, P.
Yeah, I'll take I with illusions.
Okay. So
hopefully the illusions won't hurt anybody.
Yes, exactly. Then, well, they're not going to hurt me, which is more what I would like at the moment. So I'm using my feigns to basically, attempt my shadow there in the mirror, and then eventually I'll figure out, because you start adding illusions, that I realize, well, the illusions are more real than my reflection. So I'm more worried about the illusions. And then we move full circle back to Conrad. Now, Conrad, you used a C against I, and that also results in an in a neutral condition. Do you follow?
Yes.
So we have gone all the way around the circle, and nobody has injured anyone else. But if you ever enter the chromium room again, I'm going to make you pick other things besides C. So where do you want to move from here, Rusty? You want to go back to Rhenium and suffer a deprivation?
No, we'll keep going. There's only one way. We'll go east.
One way.
Rhenium is considered one of the rarest metals that you can find.
It is, and here is a place where you can see miles and miles of it. Would you like to take, I don't think it's liquid at room temperature, but did you want to take some souvenirs, Bruce?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't worry about it. Latest stuff.
Absolutely.
Tellurium is kind of toxic, so I passed on that.
Yeah. He's getting ahead and reading some foreshadowing on that. So you passed through a toxic room, you passed through an extremely valuable room, and then you got to the chrome room. Erbium. Rusty, you're in the Erbium room. I'm sure that means nothing at the moment, but let's find out what it actually does mean. Erbium, you step inside, and it seems like you teleported or wandered in a daze for untold days. Sober to find you need to get across this desolate terrain, display skills, traits, or swagger in your abilities, each player, to keep from dying of thirst. Make at least half the party in number of task rolls or suffer that many difference in vicious wounds. So there are 7 of us in the group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to make at least 4 rolls. Every number less than 4 is a wound for Laura and her shield. Although Bruce is now the shield carrier, isn't he?
Yes.
Ugly. Okay, Bruce is a shield carrier. Well, so let's see. The difficulty is going to be either difficult or tasking, depending upon Rusty. How do you keep the party and our servants and our what's left of our animal servants from dying of thirst?
Thought control.
Well, I don't think it keeps us healthy, but it is an interesting way of doing things.
It means you don't complain about not being thirsty.
Well, that is a method, and go ahead and give me a tasking roll on that. I believe Rusty. You need 12, Rusty.
Nope.
And a 9 won't do it. Okay, Conrad, how do you keep us from being thirsty?
I'm going to use my winged mount and fly across the room to speed it up.
You're gonna try to decrease the amount of time that will be in deprivation.
Yes.
Give me a tasking roll. Are you level 6 or 7?
I'm level 7. That's a 9.
You need a 9. Terrific.
There you go, right there.
Okay, that's 1. So 1 and 1, we canceled Rusty's. And we go on to Laura. You're with us at this moment, correct?
Yep.
Laura, we're almost out of beer. What are you gonna do to slake the thirst? Did I use that correctly? Slake the thirst of the party.
See, I have spirit guide. Maybe get the spirit guide to lead us to water.
Well, there would have to be some sort of seepage, you would think, this deep in the underworld, and it probably would still be a difficult, tasking roll, though. So I'm going to need a 12 from you, if you would.
+1.
+1 for the quest pip. That is correct. Yep. Yeah. But we're now short 1 for a second, and I go back to Mike. Mike, the party needs water. If you can't make water, can you purify water that's made?
Well, I wasn't thinking about necessarily purifying water, but I was thinking of using my geomancy to make a well.
That's probably one of the best things you can do right there is geomancy. Go ahead and give me a difficult roll, and that would be a 10 for you, please. 9 quest pip.
That sounds better than I was using my bladder.
Are you level 6, Mike? Did I cheat you?
No, I'm level 5. Okay. So, yeah, I'm still...
I didn't cheat you then.
Oh, God.
There it is.
And we've now canceled the slight setback, and I'm over to Tony. Tony, what technique, trait, or whatever can get you across the thirsty room?
Well,
tears don't count, Tony.
Yeah, as a delver, I know where to get water when you're underwater, so I use my delver skill
and conserve water too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to open. Since you said the word delver, I'm going to open something up.
Oh. Oh, that's a good thing.
Thanks, Tony.
Hey, you bet.
And Tony says that we're really close to the tidal clockwork, hence the name of the underworld. We can perhaps tap some of the water off from that. Give me a difficult roll, Tony.
I have succeeded since I am 6th level.
Okay, very good. And I go on to Bruce. Bruce, either you or I need to make a roll of the two. If you make it, I won't roll. If you miss it, I'll need to roll. Bruce, what sort of magic or what sort of abilities can you use to make sure that either yourself or the party has a fresh barrel of well water?
Actually, I was just going to shapeshift into an animal that would use less water and food.
Sounds good. Give me a difficult roll.
All right.
And a 9, I think you're level 7?
6.
6.
Difficult, I need a 7.
You would need a 7 and you made it. And then my roll is immaterial, and I would probably try to do something related to the fact that we found that tap into the tidal room. But since it's unnecessary, there's no need for me to waste my effort. I will enjoy the sweet water created by the party. We move on to where would you like to go from here, Rusty? Now,
so we're supposed to go to the tidal clockwork, but we don't really know that, right?
No, you don't necessarily know that you need to go to the tidal clockwork, but it's open to you where it's at. Okay, you're going to head back there.
So are we truly just wandering the...
You are pretty much wandering. It's one of those things where the mud map has no value to you right now, okay? Because it has taken you to where you need to be. And you are basically wandering these huge halls or areas or domains of metals until something clicks that, well, or you could basically say, hey, we've done enough. Let's throw down the Shield of Einherjar right here. And this is as good a place as any to drop the Bones of Oglesvet. And but Morg's mission of finding what he left behind, nothing so far looks like it's anything that he would have left behind, if you follow what I'm saying.
Right, yep.
One of those, and you'll know it when you see it. The zinc room, you could also use skills to define that a little bit better if you wish, like someone with premonitions or somebody with thinking maybe we need to assemble the parts to make a thing. That's always one of my favorite type of underworlds is assembling parts. Okay, so zinc. A Titan is busy on a potter's wheel forming vessels. It looks a little bit like the copper giant Glitnir, but yeah, it's tough to say whether or not it truly is Glitnir or if it's just basically his nastier cousin or whatever. So what do you do about this fact that now, if assuming that he's here and he's supposed to be here, he's going to be at least a djinn or demon in power. So it's not going to be an easy thing just to run up and attack him, although you guys have killed Titans before. So what would you like to do? You could just head on, just ignore him and move past.
So we have a Titan using a potter's wheel to create something here in the zinc room?
Yes, forming vessels.
Okay.
Small jugs, a mere child's palm-sized flask. He fashioned.
Can he make something for us?
Would you like to ask?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you walk up and say, "May I have one of these?"
Yes.
Okay, and he just picks one up, and he hands it to you, and he says, "To bring that out is to have a ewer which can trap a djinn. That object will be coveted by even the Zares. So watch yourself."
Okay. Why, thank you.
Now, when anyone else tries to pick up one, he'll sort of wag his finger, suggesting that maybe it's only one per customer or one per team. And then he'll say a second line to you, "You'll be feared by every wind, sea, and sand thing out there. Just beware, the fire djinns don't enjoy mortals having such power. That power should be theirs alone. You know the order, right?
Right.
Wind, sea, and sand are extinguished by extinguished fire. Fire defeats iron. And, of course, iron, like me, has dominion over the elemental three. Now be gone, rats. You've come too deep. You've come too deep. Not all will be nice like me that you meet.
Okay, that was far too much. Oh well. I hope someone tried to take notes on that because that was just too much for me.
How about if I patch it into the chat?
Oh, there you go.
We'll use the technology of the day. And most of it is not anything that you need in this underworld. It's all just sort of mythos of the Arabian Nights, which is sort of where you are. You're in a cross between that and barony. There are 5 elements, of which wind, sand, and sea, as in air, water, and earth, are things that can extinguish the 4th element of fire. And fire can be used to forge irons and metal, which is the 5th. And then iron and metal are the things that can trap winds, seas, and sands, like this ewer that was been given to Tony. And Tony, that is a relic of some significance. So you probably, at any level, should check an ignoble even for carrying it.
I'm going to check Cyrus fulfilled prophet power.
It sounds great.
What is an iron chap?
Iron chap. An iron chap like me, as in an iron person like me. You know, I say, a jolly good old chap. An iron chap like me has dominion over the elemental 3.
So to put this in perspective, we've journeyed into terribly horrible places to get rid of the Shield of Einherjar, and while we're here, we picked up another item that's going to be equally terrible. Then we're going to go into another equally terrible place.
There's an odd balance of life like
certainly
that.
Not equally terrible. It's going to either be less terrible or a lot more terrible.
I believe the correct phrase is, thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Tony. Well, and I also remind you that subtly, Bruce has been picking stuff up. And now any good delver would tell him, just put that down. If we find out it's valuable, we know where it is. But Bruce has been collecting souvenirs the whole time, and he's got
a good delver. That's one of my specialties.
And he's going to have at least one thing he's going to bring out if you guys don't find it as well, because of another little thing, a small metal top that will come into play later on. It'll be another thing that'll be like the Shield of Einherjar that you guys probably will not appreciate having, but you're going to be stuck with it. Okay, if the players return here or try to steal anything, that would actually cause battle. But other than that, if you treat this guy respectfully, you know, he's not going to do anything but let you go on. He's busy making these small bottles that will trap the 3 djinns.
I thank him for his kindness.
So only one question is, does anyone need battle?
Well, yes.
If anyone needs battle, I would suggest that there's goblins roaming around in here, and I can set you up, something more equivalent. Yeah, no, this Glitnir in his potter's form is probably not something that we want to antagonize too much.
Can you get a quest from him?
Can you get what from him, Bruce?
A quest.
A quest?
Well, we kind of did.
Yeah, you kind of did, in that he's going to want you to trap a djinn in that bottle and get something that's going to be... and
every other djinn in the world is going to be unhappy that we have an item that can trap djinns in it.
Yes, I think Conrad has summed up that very well. That when I want to give another mission coming up, I will send
shield. We have shield number 2 in our possession.
Well, it's not even as good as shield number 2.
It's not going to save anybody. It's only going to cause us to be attacked. That's all.
We did check an ignoble, so that's, we're one step closer.
No, one of us checked an ignoble.
The man who's killed 2 titans is not going to give up his djinn catching urn.
That's right.
He can tell the djinn, what do you give me if I let you out? So.
Can we give a letter or something to to someone he knows, or deliver a message, or some kind of less consequential?
You're talking to
get out of jail, or
you're talking to a god here, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. If I wanted you to deliver a letter, you would know it. So he's. Can
we post something on Twitter for him?
Yes, post something on Twitter. He's actually in communing with the far off natures of reality. Make a note sometime, Bruce, that I'll let you call him to the surface and ask a question or ask for a quest sometime later. And you may check an ignoble for that audacity, I would think. If we have something that is audacity in this game. It's Bard's Tale. I think you've already checked magic exposure for your level, didn't you, for the Tesseract room?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Magic, monstrosity. Yes, I did.
Okay.
So you're saying I can do, let's see, I need Bard's Tale. You're saying Bard's Tale would work?
I would say it's a pretty good Bard's Tale for any of you that you basically found the Glitnir the Potter in that form and ended up getting a Micah's penny. Not sure. A penny. I don't think you found the copper room yet, so you do not get a penny. I take your penny back.
I was doing the joke that modern pennies are made of zinc. I was going off Tony's comment.
I got it. That's actually very clever.
So Bard's Tale that we got to the gin.
Bard's Tale, we met at the copper gin. Yeah, I'll take a iron. No, he's copper, right?
He is copper. Copper giant.
Oh, and you found the place where they make the vessels that they trap gins in, and this guy doesn't. It's not like one. You know what I'm saying? There's thousands of them, right?
Yes, he's got quite a number of them. Yeah.
So should someone have to encounter a gin and we don't have Tony's vessel for whatever reason, we kind of know the place to come.
You do know
or to tell someone the coast.
Yeah, you'd have to repeat your steps, but you're and mix and match. But it's nice to have options here. Rubidium, a mercury-like substance. Let's see what rubidium does. The chamber is a bubbling pool, but not from heat. Gas simply bubbles through the liquid metal that looks like mercury. The silvery element causes slips and falls. It coats the boots and seems like something that you should not eat. Sure, it explodes with water, so against the skin it's quite an irritant. To march across this area, roll ordinary task. Then discard your boots, and barefoot you must go thereafter. So if you have to return back through the rubidium room, that's going to be damage to your feet. So let's see if we get an ordinary task to move across, or Rusty, I'll let you stay back in the zinc room and not risk it. Up to you. I want to put you right back here in the transition.
Yeah.
Do we want to roll ordinary?
So guys, do you want to lose your boots and roll ordinary, or do you guys want to go back and we go the long way around to the tidal clockwork?
You know,
Rusty, to go
it actually
the
might be the
Rhenium
short
room, and that's four tasking. You know, more tasking. More people have to make it than don't make it.
Well, here I'm kind of with you, Rusty, thinking that we might want to go back to Erbium and try and go counterclockwise to get to that room in the center. Just with red, there's a 50-50 chance that next room, if we go to the north, only connects us to Niobium and we have to backtrack somewhere.
Oh, no, I think it goes to another room that may only connect to Niobium. So, yes.
Why
don't we use some of our skills here and maybe create zinc boots or Erbium boots or something like that, and then we
can discard your zinc coated boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we summon Mathis Violet from the Cutlass campaign, and he can steal us boots from France?
I mean, we have tinkers. We have right.
I hope you have a tinker engineers. At least. I'm not a tinker.
We have, I am, and so we have tinkers and engineers.
I'm
sure we can make some boots. Right?
Can I conjure a set of boots on the other side?
Well, you actually flew across a room that you didn't want to step on the floor in once. You could probably do something similar. You can find a path. All you have to do is just suggest it, Rusty. What skill are you going to apply, and then I'll give you a roll for it.
Well, if we want to go just directly across without stepping on it, we can just use cosmic. But to just create a portal, it takes us
and
to
just
the
sort of bridge the area by entering one side of the portal.
And then the other side is on the other end.
Give me an ordinary roll to see if you get a stable one.
All right, let's see, ordinary roll.
Our future is based on Rusty making an ordinary roll.
and plus one, I made it with ease.
8. He did make an ordinary roll. It's so Rusty says that from the other side of the area, he says, I'm already over here. Does anyone want to join me as well?
Yeah, I don't really want to lose my boots. I like my boots.
It seems like a common thing, but yeah, I think we should avoid losing our boots.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
I'm all in for taking samples.
That sure sounded like a crafty deed there.
Well, for Rusty Crafty Deed, not enough. But
It's
in
level
the
5.
It's going to start to get some. I'll let you write it down as.
I've already got Crafty Deeds anyway. From earlier.
Indium room. Starting to get interesting.
It has a little gold coin.
It does have a little good coin. Several dwarves swat at each other trying to get a turn at a massive steampunk-style machine. None of them are tall enough to work the controls. They are not the creator of this machine. That becomes obvious. Scattered about the floor are the efforts of their acts. The floor is littered with small metal alloy cubes, dice truly. Each one has the same letter on opposite sides, 3 different letters each cube. Many of the letters are not Phoenician or Roman alphabet. The cubes have no value, though you cannot stop the servitors from finding initials of loved ones or taking souvenirs. The rune has an obvious importance, but may be a mystery for now. I'm going to put all that in the chat so that we don't have to, worry about. You guys are able to scroll backward, correct? And just to,
Yep.
I've now that I've seen what the client looks like on this other computer I used to record on. It's you guys have some limitations that I didn't realize you had at first. But so Rusty, there's a room with a whole bunch of there's obviously a stamping machine to make these little indium die casts and of letters. So. I mean, right now it would be a wild leap. I will allow Mike, because I always am entertained by Mike. Mike, what is the purpose of this room? I give you 1 minute to pontificate. We'll see how close you were to guessing my.
Well, my first joke is this is the source of the blocks for the printing press, and we can make a Carta Magna here. But again, that's Cutlass.
Yes. Now that's interesting. I could teleport you into that. I haven't had a Cutlass crossover ever, but go ahead.
Yeah. No. I'm actually gonna go with something similar to this. These blocks help mages because all of those symbols and runes on them, rather than, this is like a portable mage kit, so I can put these blocks down and I can just draw lines in between them, and that takes the time to, cuts the time to do summoning circles and the like down, because the magic runes themselves, they're like stencils.
You probably would take a number of them off the floor, I would think, then, if you truly thought that, or you just sort of hypothesizing that might be what it is.
Yeah, as a player, I'm hypothesizing. As a character, let me double check, because I probably agree with you that I would try and take these.
Okay, if you're going to take a bag full of them or a sack full of them, that's entirely up to you, and you could perhaps check growth if you decide that this is how you implement magic.
The symbols on them is not in Delver.
Well, it's not necessarily a Delver symbol. What I mean by symbols is there may be, some glyphs on them that you don't necessarily recognize.
Is there anything in Hypatia? Because I speak Varangia, Khazar, Greek, Legzin, Hypatia.
Now, Hypatia is a dead language. Probably was like a linear B, an ancient Greek, Cretan type of Gnosis type of thing. It was not necessarily a true alphabet as a form as opposed to a pictographic type of alphabet. So, can you find that, and can you construct enough that you can publish a novel? Not and carry it, but you can start ordering your guys to do it. But they're still trying to take tidal water and a few other things that you guys are starving, right? So you don't want to be telling them what little you had, be throwing it away and picking up blocks unless you think you're going to need them later. For instance, if I told you in the upper northeast corner that you're going to have to build a wall with these things, yeah, you might need a whole lot of them, and that would save you a trip back, but that's not going to happen.
So I got a question, Red.
Yes.
On the dwarfs,
yes.
Their inability to work the controls is just because they're not tall enough, not enough of them, or maybe not have the skill?
It's probably a mixture of both. The fact that they're not tall enough to properly set whatever controls there are, and also an ignorance of what they're doing. You can almost look at these dwarves, and dwarves themselves can either act very sinister or very childlike. And these are more like acting like Three Stooges. They're there both to point out to the players this machine, which really would just be a speck of a dot in the area that you're coming in. So they're focusing your attention on it, and they're not harmful. And if you quiz them and ask them what they're doing, they wouldn't be able to offer anything.
But the room is full with these little dice things, right? Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots.
There are lots and lots and lots of them, yeah. And duplicates. So don't think that each one is unique for any reason.
It's too bad. I did like what Conrad was throwing in the chat, that each one was a person. I like that.
Each one is a person, which is as you've often accused me of, I will accuse you back. Wow, you really blew my mind with that one, man. Each one is a person. Each one is part of a skein of life that the norms.
This is your little. It's popped out of the machine when a child is born. It's rolled like a die to see its fate.
No,
it's different languages, right?
I'm not. I'm gonna steal that and say, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. But no, that's. They have a more practical reason for being in this oddly, in this underworld.
Cereal would be the only other thing. It'll be food.
Food to the giants.
They're all eating the alphabets.
Yeah, this is my alphabet soup, which is another one. It's probably just logical, except why would the gods need to eat? The gods only eat for pleasure, and if their pleasure is eating indium, I don't think those are gods that have much human empathy anyway. Rusty, you can go back to the niobium room. It will again cause greed. There is a passage off of titanium you never took, or you can head straight into this area to see if you can get to the tidal clockwork and see if that spurs your memory of anything.
Tell me if we want to go to the underworld foundry for any reason.
The Underworld Foundry is basically just a title card of the Underworld, Bruce. I actually turned that on and opened it up. You're talking about the actual letters that spell out Underworld Foundry of the Tidevannsurverk?
Yes.
That's off of the Erbium. Yeah, that's just part of the key of the map. That is not an area that we actually want to visit.
Okay.
And I move on to the lead area. Lead. Okay, the floor seems to have increased gravity. Of course it does. The area is exhausting to cross. Each step is a labor. Did you want to leave your people behind in the relatively safe area of indium, or did you want to leave them in the transition between the two spaces, or did you want to just use the whip and drive them along? What do you want to do with your guys? They're the ones that really are going to suffer in this area. The demigod is not going to suffer. So I know Tony is just sort of looking at us like, what's the matter?
There's no downside because we're going to have to come back through lead after we get
the way
to
it's looking,
the tidal clockwork.
Okay. So, all right, ahead you go by yourselves. Anyone wish to sort of beg out of going into the tidal clockwork at the moment and stay with the servitors, or are you all basically forming a shuttle party with all of your officers in one shuttlecraft here? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong game. Are you?
I'm ready to be the Galileo 7.
Yeah. Is there anyone around the table, Laura, that wants to not go in with the crazy people that want to see the tidal clockwork?
I'd love to not go, but I think we all should.
I should let you find a growth out of that. But I think you've already checked the growth that you're sort of honorable, or am I mistaking that for someone else?
It seems like we're putting our servitors at risk. It's something we might need later.
They can stay either at the start of the lead room or back in the indium room, and if anything happens that there's a problem, you've already proven time and time again with a cosmic spell you could be there. Yeah. The tidal clockwork. All right. So, Tony, what does the tidal clockwork do?
Well, actually, it keeps the tides moving in and out.
That is correct.
If it wasn't there, obviously it would all stop and all water would be still. All
right. So, Conrad, if you could control the tides, what could you do with that?
We could alter growing patterns, right?
Sure.
So so floods and all, right?
Think about conquering, man.
And Laura, if you could control the tides, what sort of mischief could you do with that?
I would have complete mastery over the seas.
All right, so now that we have a general idea, the gears, too many to count, spin, interlock, wind, and whirl. The glass column with granulated marks shows the water level of the ocean above. An attendant demon seems delighted that the ebb tide will be perfect to my calculation within margin of human error. It giggles. The mob is insane and has no memory of anything but this room and the tide clock. So you do have an option of retiring your character here and say that your character has become the keeper of the tides. That's one option. Or you can decide to gum up these gears and cause every ship at sea to immediately sink, or destroy every city on the coastline. Now, luckily for all, you probably don't have enough knowledge of the machine to do much mischief at the moment, but I give you the option of checking any magical ignoble. Does anyone need it, or have we already done that?
If you're talking about magic exposure,
can we dry out sections of the oceans?
Presumably you could do that, but with your knowledge of just seeing the room for the first time, no. But if one of the players were to say, sure, this is good enough for me, and I'm very tempted to let Ugmar take over for the old Tidekeeper and retire as the Tidekeeper. And in fact, if no one will take it, I will. I'm going to retire Ugmar as the Tidekeeper. So now you also know the Tidekeeper. That could possibly be a check of ignoble. And I will play his younger brother, Ogle. And Ogle also had Ungmar's magic blade and magic mount from ages ago.
So the blue man from the sea eventually became the one to control the seas, right?
Yes. It's a fitting end for him, so I'll check an ignoble for that.
I was actually thinking that my guy would stay behind, but since Conrad pointed out our blue-skinned fish man, that's a better fate for him.
It doesn't mean the character is gone forever. It just means I check exercising prudence and precaution, and that puts me almost at level 6, but it will put me out of this mission. Now if I'm playing a low-level guy of level 0, oh my gosh, this is the perfect place to have an alt character because everything I do pretty much gives me an ignoble check.
I would like Ungmar to figure out how to torture the sea god's daughter. To dry her out
and expose her out from the deeps. Okay, yes. Very good. And then you want to trap her in the bottle, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cunning boys.
Consider that my first, since Ungmar as well, it became a scholarly mage, a mage who doesn't want to do manifestations but would rather know things. This is again another perfect fitting for him, and your request would be answered. And you can reach him via magic Skype. Let's see if we got a way. He has cosmic, he has demonic, and he has spirit guide. So he probably would use the spirit guide to contact you later on.
Okay.
Do you have spirit guide, Tony?
I do not have spirit guide. I have cosmic.
You should check spirit guide, and in the future, your spirit guide is actually Ungmar.
Ungmar. Okay.
Okay.
I will make note of that.
We are going to push you back through the lead room, back into the indium room, which is relatively safe, Rusty. And where do you head from there? So a lot of things have opened, but the tidal clock is not the safe place you're looking for. There is definitely something, when I open it up, you're going to know where to put the Shield of Einherjar. In fact, the room will say, this is where you put the Shield of Einherjar.
Looks like we're back to the Erbium room.
Yeah, you're in. If you wish, you can go. You're going to need another method, just for color and purpose to get through rubidium. If you take the long way around, you need to make a roll in the Rhenium room to essentially get past the depredation. The Erbium room, you're going to need the water, but we already established that we can take water from the tidal clockwork. So the path is either how do you get past the silver, or the path is how do you get past the or do you want a couple of more rolls on that table for food shortage?
Well, I didn't see silver. You mean titanium? Where's
in the Rhenium room? It's you run out of food. In the rubidium room, you have to cross the silver liquid floor. So which is your choice, Rusty?
Red, can I just do a quick whining for ignobles, as Mike pointed out? Cunning ploy for weakening the daughter of the sea god?
Yes.
Using Ungmar to do that? Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Good adventure for knowing the Keeper of the Tides.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I just need battle, and then I level up to 6, so I'll just patiently wait
we
for
should be
stuff.
looking for a battle then. And I believe I have one in the aluminum room.
Can we leverage the Clockwork Man? Put it on his list of things to do for us at his convenience, or?
Well, he's got nothing but convenience at the moment. But go ahead.
So we have estates now, and it sure would be nice to have the perfect growing weather at my estate for growing grapes for wine, etc.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, can he modify the tides in the Black Sea to add a little bit more rain during the drier season, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Aren't you landlocked?
On this one little portion of the little portion here, drop the right amount of water for me to grow the perfect wine.
He'll be looking into all that, and my guess is he'll make some mistakes in the interim, and but.
Campaign events now are natural disasters caused by Ungmar. Great. Thanks, Conrad.
Right.
Okay, getting past the silver pool in the rubidium room.
You've already used Cosmic once.
We used Cosmic.
Yeah, so you should use a different event getting across it the second time.
How about geomancy or animate objects to make the silver just part like the Red Sea?
It may not be of a depth that would be safe. For all you know, they could go down miles and miles and miles of this silver liquid. But I'll let you use geomancy to manipulate either the cubes or some other thing like the titanium and make yourself a bridge, a walkway. It won't last forever, but it would probably get your party across. Is that what you want to attempt, Mike?
What's the
geomancy is a good thing. Give me a roll of an ordinary roll, please.
Ordinary roll for level 5. I'm looking for a 5. With Quest Pip, I need a 4. There's a Snake Eyes. How about I just...
how about if we give you a half D8, and then you can... Tally? Yes, and you can go ahead, and I think we have Tony as the keeper of that. Just tell Tony your tally. And
yeah, what's your number up to? 22. 22. Ooh, it's a big, long one. Hang on a second here. I'll drop it in.
He gets a guide, right?
Yeah. The character attracts a tutor.
So as it says, the person may be entirely real, terrestrial, etc., etc. You should pick your tutor by name.
Ungmar, obviously.
Tutor one. We've got a lot of people in that tutor, don't we?
Why is it Ungmar now that you've got...
Everyone eventually is going to probably get a tutor, Mike.
I was gonna say Ungmar because he's now the keeper of the tides, and
this guy Ungmar is starting to go, man. I got to learn this clock, and you're already making requests, and I got to be your tutor, as if I can teach you anything. Sure, yes, that's.
You thought being the keeper of the tides was going to be a reward?
Yes,
funny you.
Exactly. In fact, it's going to be nothing but endless tedium where I'll eventually go insane and hate you all.
Dude. There. Oh, please make it rain don't make it rain on my birthday tomorrow. Please make it so the rain doesn't flood my property. The voices in your head are going to be coming.
When I become your sentinel in your boat and then constantly harry you. But Mike, you're going to eventually jump to 25 after you've picked your person. You can read most of that at your leisure. I mean, it's a little bit of me just having some fun with the idea that you have some supernatural tutor that comes along. And we move on to Mike and geomancy is not going to work. Everything is just too heavy. It's the attraction of that gravity pool of the lead, the black hole. It's obviously in the middle of this underworld. So, Bruce, how do you get everyone across the silver floor room? I go to the second most powerful magic user in the group.
We made a pathway, is that right?
We tried geomancy and we've tried cosmic successfully, geomancy unsuccessfully. How would you use one of your skills to get everyone across? You've suggested this many times if you need a hint.
Oh, you just fly across.
Yes, but how would you fly across? I understand that, but how would you get everyone else across?
I could get a rope and carry it across the room and tie it to something, and then
that's pretty elaborate. It makes people work. Couldn't you just make yourself into a dragon?
I didn't know I was that powerful, but I'll try.
Well, I mean, I'm suggesting it. My new guy. Let me see if I got his name. Ogle says, why don't you just make yourself something bigger that we can get on? Like a big snake we can walk across.
Is this liquid that we don't want to touch? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we don't want to. Yes. We don't want to lose our boots. It's sort of a petty thing, but
an animal that would be able to swim it without affecting it.
Well,
no, because then you're immersing your animal self into it.
Yeah, if the liquid itself, rubidium, if it comes in contact with water, moisture, it blows up. So
and people are mostly water.
Yeah, and people are mostly water. So you can make yourself shift yourself into something. I mean, I
will shape myself into something, a large bird or dragon, and carry people across.
All right, is it a bird or is it a dragon? Because I want to see that roll eventually, and it's going to be an ordinary roll. 2 dice, if you would.
Oh,
and Bruce, are you a bird, a big bird, or are you a big dragon?
I'll do dragon just for the flair.
Okay, dragon, boy, up on the scales. Go ahead and Bruce has made the roll. Well, we're used to riding dragons across. We've already done it once before, so at least it's familiar to us. I put us in the Zen room.
Let me understand this correctly. So should we walk through the rubidium room and lose our boots? The indium room, of course, is little square things that are on the floor that we, of course, would all destroy our feet walking on. Is that the? So we were all, it's the markings of the fates of the universe. We're all being, no, it's just a bunch of crap on the floor to cut our feet.
Yeah,
the Lego room.
It's just Lego.
Yeah, we don't want to walk through the Lego
It's just a bunch
room.
of Legos. Yeah, lose your boots. We're all going to get hurt walking on Legos.
It's it's the little things like Sturges that bring down the biggest parties. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move on. I'm gonna push you forward just a little bit, Rusty, because I can see it's only one path. Unless you want to go unless you want to go all the way back to Titanium.
No. We're going to the northeast.
I can't tempt you with that Titanium room. Okay, Mike, what battle do you need to go up a level? And I'm gonna make these goblins sort of.
Battle military strategy, and I am level 5 going for level 6.
Okay, so what was the last battle that you won, I guess is what I'm asking.
Last battle? Let me take a quick glance at that.
Let me see. It goes nasty, horrible, enchanted.
Isn't that heroics?
It's probably, no, it's would be great and heinous. And it's going to have to be at least invincible, right? Does anyone need...
My heroics level 5 was an invincible titanium. My battle level 4 was fighting the sea god Triton.
All right, I think we need an invincible. Does that meet everyone's criteria, or do we need to make him one better than that?
I've already got battles.
I need invincible.
I think I'm with Conrad. I'm going to need a heinous.
I need a large. I gotta laugh.
You're going to make it then.
That one? Okay.
I definitely need the invincible.
Be fighting a titanium guy. At least
heinous.
Doesn't mean I always have to fight titanium guys. How about if we fight invincible and he'll be I'm going to make the goblins invincible because they are using elements of some of these other things. So you need to beat a guy that's Tellurium. You need to beat a Tellurium guy, and a Rhenium guy, and a rubidium guy, and what else do we have? Oh, and lead. Lead is good.
Well, and Red, you heard Tony and I need heinous to get our check.
Okay, so why don't we make them...
Again, sucks to be us, huh? Okay.
Let's make them all heinous. Okay. Because it's only going to be, I think, a point at most in difference on the...
Yep. And the battle is the one we have to win, correct?
Battle is the one you have to win, which means you cannot use your make rolls for this. Enemy defensive modifier, I think I'm at 104. I'll double check that. And at 104, a heinous is going to be a defensive modifier of 4. An invincible is defensive modifier of 3. Not much of a difference, so we're just going to make him defensive modifier of 4. Now, my guy does not have methodical, so I cannot cancel that. So I'm going to be -4 to my rolls. I'm probably going to be suffering here as a new character, but, que sera, sera. We go on to...
You can always go defensive.
I got Bruce as the last where my dice is, so I'm going to go to my character and just flip my first card for brash. Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
Sure, why
1,
not?
2, 3, 4. We got to kill 4 invincible goblins that are.
heinous.
One is poisonous, one is super gravity, one is sticky, and one is Rhenium. What was Rhenium's problem? I don't think I had a problem for Rhenium. So one is actually defeatable. I got a 4 of coins, and unfortunately it's a Bane. Let's see if I can find that. Somebody want to post it in the chat for me as well?
There you go.
And a 4 of coins, Bane. It will say to me that 4 rods, 4 coins. Use the environment, the ship's riggings, tavern furnishings, flora and fauna. I'm going to use, obviously, the aluminum surfaces that we're dealing with here to evade. Fail and knocked unconscious. Oh, God, it's a great flip for me at the start. Flare.
Nope.
If the adversary is great, the injury results in vicious wounds. It is not great. If skill of the man-at-arms difficulty decreases by 2, I am not an engineer sapper. I need an 11 to keep from being knocked out. And if I make this roll, I can check. Look at that. I check.
Oh, look at that.
I check battle, which is all I need to do. Check battle. Yay! But we move on to Rusty. Rusty, did you want to do a calculated action trying to wound one of the 4 enemies, or did you want to go magical or brash? Or we can flee them if you wish.
-4, huh?
It's
because I am also not methodical.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'll. Well, who knows? We'll try magical.
Okay, magical. I'm going to flip a card for you. How about a 6 of coins? And it is not a Bane. No, 6 of coins. So you're not going to be at least injured by it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, you're right.
It's not a Bane, you say?
It is not a Bane.
Okay, so
I think Rusty's been able to outright fly for a couple of rooms now.
That's new. You've always been able to levitate a small distance, but since when could you outright fly? Optional. Success in half a D8 opponents or 1 large adversary runs away, but fail roll and knocked unconscious. Difficulty 11. -4 would be a 15. Advantage, wizardly shape shifting. Let's see what my character is. Let's see, that's J. And I do not have shape shifting.
You could make roll and pick it up, or you could.
No, if I make roll, I spoil all their battle.
Oh, that's true.
So I definitely won't make roll it, and
It's optional.
being knocked out is not really a bad result.
No, it's not that bad a result.
It's optional, as Laura's saying.
Yeah, but the question is, yeah, it's optional.
Yeah, will it get any better? I guess is what you're
never
thinking.
get any better, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
I could be Banes, and I'm looking at vicious wounds instead.
Well, at -4, you might get something in the 10 or 12 range if you get a lucky card. But until somebody cancels that defensive modifier with one of their actions.
Yeah, no, I think we'll go ahead and roll it and become unconscious.
Okay, well, let's see if you might make it anyway. Oh, but you're not shaped. There you go. Yeah, and even with the +1, I think you missed it. So Rusty is knocked unconscious. I go to Conrad. There are 4 goblins that we're fighting, and they are basically heinous.
I'm going to use my speed and guile.
Okay.
R. So I have 10 traits, which is +3. Quest pip is +4. I have a gladiatorial blade, and we have inhuman watchdogs, which is a total of +6. -4 would be +2 to the roll. If I let me use my methodical, because I do have that, and I'm at level 5, so I can cancel everybody, or is that not?
Conrad.
No, I think that gives you the catbird seat for
Okay, yeah,
right
so
now.
let me go
if
ahead
you want it.
Conrad,
Yeah, let me just. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if you use recitation, I will remind you that you'll be shaken if you do that around.
I'm using
somebody else.
calculated.
Okay.
I'm using calculate. Yeah, no magic there. So yeah, I'll use the methodical. So I'm going to be +6 on the roll. Got 2 dice, rolling it twice. That's 8 + 6 is 14 plus. I'm sure that's dispatch 1, right?
Did we also subtract the 4 for the defensive modifier then?
I
He
used
got
my
rid
methodical.
of it with methodical.
Okay, very good then. So you have dispatched one of them. Did you want to dispatch the poisonous one, the one that has the gravity well, the one that causes the sticky? Did you can lose your boots and clothing, or did you want to just kill the normal one?
I guess the poison one, since we would.
Poison one's probably the best one to kill. I would agree with that.
Let's be prudent, right?
Yes, let's be prudent. Okay, so and I'm just sticking those in those different rooms just so I can remember what their magical aspects are. They're actually all in the area of the aluminum that we're fighting. So we go on to Laura. How would you like to handle this? Flipping a card, brash, or magical, or did you want to do a calculated action? Brash. Here it comes. And it is unfortunately a Bane, a queen of coins. Bane.
Sure, talk your way out of death by recounting a favorite anecdote, thus causing the enemy to feel sorrow or sympathy, just enough delay to cheat fate. Fail roll, and you must select escape going forward. Against large plus adversaries, difficulty increases by 3. If this action occurs in the underworld, no one gains advantage or may practice recitation with wizardry power words. Difficulty 11, skill berserker, which I do believe I have.
Def mod of 4, so that's 15 unless you use a methodical bonus or something.
I am methodical.
Okay.
Berserker, I do have.
And the other thing, of course, here is if you can use calculated, we don't have to draw a card, which means we don't risk the Arcana causing the battle to become worse. It never gets better. Yeah, just FYI for those of you that.
The major tarot never helps.
It doesn't get better. It gets worse.
Are you a berserker, Laura?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to roll 3 dice. Oh, I see it there. You made your 18. Very good, and it was fail, and you could, and you must escape. But against large plus adversaries, we increased by 3. I think you still made it. And if this action occurs in the underworld, it does. We're not going to use power words. I move on to Mike.
Great roll.
Mike is going to use a recitation action of Spirit Guide because he's got his shiny new magic Focus Cubes and he knows Ungmar.
Okay.
I have 8 magical swaggering techniques. That's a +2. I have 1 other R, so that's another +1 for a +3. We have a quest pip, so that's a +4. I'm going to use my methodical to cancel out the defensive modifier. I believe I am rolling at +4 on my dice. Have I missed any modifiers, Conrad?
Did you get the quest pip?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
So, okay. Yeah. I'm just okay. So, I think that's it. Okay, 2d8 plus 4.
Twice,
That's a 15, or I'll take that 15 and a 15 for
kill 1 large plus.
Kill 1.
Yep. So, did you want to kill the guy that affects the gravity, the guy that messes up our gear, or the ordinary one?
I think I will mess up the guy that makes us heavy because that's making it hard for everybody else to move and fight. Correct?
He hasn't come up with an evil reason yet.
I'll drop the defensive modifier to 3 because we've killed the gravity guy, and I move on to Tony.
I'm going to use a calculated method. I guess I will use Killer Instinct, as I'm really good at that.
And as a Nancy.
Okay.
Yep, so I have Killer Instinct, I have Impetus Blade, and I have, Lucid Mount doesn't count. But we did bring Vermin Free along with us, so I am +2 from that. I am +1 from the quest, so that gives me a +3. And then I have 9 total personal swaggering techniques, which would then give me up to another +2, so it gives me a +5. Versus a 3,
+5
right?
minus 3 is +2. 2 dice +2.
Okay. And an 8 or a 11. So let's go 13 total.
13 is dispatch 1 large adversary. Which is
there you go.
Yay.
So you're going to save the guy that messes our boots up, Tony?
Yeah, no, he's going to kill the guy that messes the boots up, and then I'll just put the final goblin right in the room with us. All right, so I'm over to Bruce. Bruce, am I going to flip a magical card flip for you, or are you going to go some sort of recitation action?
I think we've got enough people in the room that if you recitate, you go shaken, right?
Yeah, I'm the only person who can do recitation without being shaken.
How about you do a brash act, or did you want to do a calculated act, Bruce? We lost him for the moment, or is he thinking?
Or he's muted.
Oh, it's muted. Can I do magical?
Yeah, magical card flip, sure.
But I want to do catbird seat and use my methodical to cancel
Okay.
this.
So you can add plus
You
three
could also
and
do
cancel.
you could also do recitation, Bruce, and be shaken at the end of it, right? So it's no penalty if you succeed. Does that make sense? Being
If you
shaken is bad
succeed,
if you're
it doesn't matter. You're shaken.
because you've killed the last monster.
Over, so your shaken goes away.
Wait, so you think recitation will give me the best chance, right?
Yeah.
Well, recitation lets you select one of your abilities that would kill this creature. With magic, you're hoping for the
And
right
what
card.
what is he now? I've lost it with the heavy and the
He's
poison.
heinous.
Just the,
goblin.
Just a heinous ordinary goblin with a death mod of 3. Or he lost the sticky red. Does that reduce the death mod again because it no longer entangles our weapons?
Okay.
2.
So, Bruce, what they're asking you to do is pick something like hexes, which can dispatch an enemy.
Okay, let me see if I have hexes.
Well, you should. What do you have locked as
Pick the
glorious?
one you like using.
Let's not take
I have
some from.
hexes.
You got hexes locked as glorious.
No, I do not. It's not glorious.
Which
Pick the one that you're.
I
Yeah,
have power words as glorious, necromancy,
power words we can't use? We got that flare that just came up from the deck. Go ahead.
demonic.
A necromancer, I believe, makes them run away. Let's take a look.
No, it makes them surrender.
Okay, necromancer makes them surrender, but horrible creatures and beyond do not surrender, so that one's not going to work. Demonic.
Techniques.
Demonic.
Demonic makes them run away, but invincible creatures and beyond don't run away. Psionics.
Power
Psionics.
words, and I can't use power words, so I don't have anything locked. That
Spirit guide and pyrotechnics.
What's
are,
that?
Options. Pyrotechnics.
I do have pyrotechnics, but it's not locked.
Okay. You ain't gonna. You're not gonna miss the roll, Bruce. You're rolling twice. You're gonna be plus.
Pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
Okay, pyrotechnics. Okay, so how many total swaggering techniques do you have of wizardry?
14.
14.
Plus 4.
So that's plus 4. Minus 2 for the defensive modifier.
And I
Plus 2.
canceled that with methodical, right?
You do, yes. And
Okay, and I have the catbird seat.
and you also have the catbird seat, and you also have your quest pip. So we're looking at like plus 8. So give me 2 dice plus 8.
And roll twice.
Roll twice.
So you only need to roll once. That'll do it.
Okay, so those both are going to kill the last guy. I think you, even if you rolled...
Can I make that glorious then?
No.
No, not by this action, no.
Ah, darn.
If you go up a level, you can decide to maybe make something glorious. I believe is it gifted that allows you to lock a magical trait?
He blew it
All right,
up.
so we killed the last goblin.
He blew it up.
He blew it up.
Can I take just
He reduced it back to its atom.
volunteering to get knocked out?
I think you got to at least complete one roll to get battle. What were you looking for?
No, I don't want battle. I want prudence.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Because I intentionally volunteered to knock myself out.
All right, so you've beaten the assorted goblins.
That's for anybody but Tony but Rusty.
All right, the goblins actually in the room, most of them were pushing this big sort of, grind wheel, and there's no reason why they're doing it except for the fact that, it probably is turning the world for all we know now. And they seem to enjoy the effort, and they just step over the people that have died from exhaustion and they grind them in. The grind wheel itself needs to actually be turned in order for you guys to get through the area, but it as little as one person can cause that to happen. So who, if or all, how many are going to step forward and push on the grind wheel?
I will do it.
Okay, Bruce is going to do it. How about my character, Bruce? Is my new character Ogle? Is he going to help you? Of course,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Sure.
And what about Rusty? Rusty, are you going to push the grind wheel, or are you not going to push the grind wheel?
I'm selfless as my growth from last time, so I guess I better push the
Yes, I think you want to push the grind wheel, Conrad.
As a good steward, I'll be getting people beverages.
Okay. Conrad has picked up the personality flaw of reluctant. You can make a note of that. It doesn't have as much effect in Outlands as it might in other games.
That sounds growthy, right?
Well, it is growthy, yes. And Laura, did you want to pick up reluctant, or did you want to just push the grindstone?
Oh boy. I guess since I'm selfless, I'll help push.
Yeah, I think selfless is going to push. Mike, are you going to pick up the flaw reluctant, or are you going to push the grind wheel?
I'm going to push the grind wheel.
Of course you're going to push the grind wheel. Demigod, are you going to push the grind wheel, or are you going to be reluctant?
I guess I had to push the grind wheel by myself.
Okay, so
how it is.
Yes, you would.
Always the way it is, right?
It's the other slackers were just, they were just there to watch and cheer. All right, so I'm going to go through the conditions, and then you just take what happens, and then let me know. So, is anyone pushing the grind wheel not rugged? No rugged.
Good thing I rode a dragon and picked up rugged.
Okay. Is everyone pushing the grind wheel rugged?
I'm rugged.
Yep. I'm rugged.
Yep.
Conrad, is your character rugged?
I'm not pushing.
Conrad's not pushing.
Oh, that's right. Conrad's not pushing.
And I'm not rugged, so. Yeah.
But everyone that's pushing the grind wheel is rugged. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So now, does everyone pushing the grind wheel, are they demigod A?
No.
Okay. Anyone who's pushing the grind wheel and is not a wizardry demigod A takes it and then passes out in exhaustion. So.
Oh, okay.
Does that leave anyone left pushing the grind wheel? Don't say okay yet, Mike, because I mean.
I am pushing. I have demigod. I'm pushing still.
Okay,
so hang on 1 sec. I'm sorry, I totally lost connection there.
Yeah, Tony, are you both rugged and have the wizardry demigod A?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Laura, do you have both of those?
Yes.
Okay, wow, we got a very impressive group of heroes here. And Bruce, are you both of those?
Yes.
Wow, that is just amazing. My character is also rugged, but he does not have the demigod, so I'm going to pick up the demigod and fall with Mike. Finally, everyone else, you've already done everything you could possibly get from pushing the grind wheel. You've already become rugged. You've already become demigod. So you unfortunately do not gain anyone else. All right. Now the only downside is the fact that Mike and I passed out, and some of our demigods or a guy handing out water is going to have to rescue us. We'll start with Conrad since he was out of the battle. Conrad, how do you rescue either Mike's character or my character?
So you're just passed out?
We passed out, and we're going to get grinded by the grindstone.
So I'll use my speed and guile to pull Mike out.
Do you have a sword? Do you have a sea sword arm?
I do have sea sword arm as well, and it's also marked glorious.
Oh, they're both glorious. Okay,
yeah.
So you might want to choose one that's not marked glorious.
Well, let's see. Concentration it is then.
Okay, concentration. You've been watching the proceedings methodically. Give me an ordinary roll. If you make it, you pick up concentration and lock it as glorious.
There you go.
Okay, and you saved Mike. I'm going to give one other person in the battle. Who's our lowest level character here?
I think it's you.
There's a bunch of 5s, and then there's you, Red.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I can't save myself. I'm not that clever. How about if we, let me get my die 8 here, single die 8, and go around the table from Conrad. And I got an 8, which is probably going to put me in full circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go full circle with that 8 and go right back to Laura and say, Laura, what do you do to save Ogle, who's going to be crushed by the grindstone you're pushing? You should pick a personal swaggering, I would think, and you should pick one that you have, but it isn't locked as glorious. Do you have spurning? And you could kick me out of the way.
I have mastery of shield. I can put you on my shield and carry you off.
Yeah, and it's not locked as glorious, correct?
Nope.
Give me 2 dice and see if we lock it as glorious. Now, wait a second. It's only an ordinary roll. You might have made that, right? It's
+1 with the quest pip.
An ordinary roll for level
Roll
4
again.
at level 5 is only a 5. So you made it even without the quest pip, right? But I have to call you a point of order on that. If you're going to save my character with mastery of the shield, you would have to do it with the Shield of Einherjar. Do you agree with that?
But
no, Bruce has got it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She
She just basically, if Captain America called it back to her. Now, Laura, the choice is yours. I think it's character development that the shield loves you and comes back to you to help you save your new minion, Ogle. But you could say no, that didn't happen. I'll give you that. But if you want to check an ignoble from this incident of saving Ogle and recalling the Shield of Einherjar.
It's coming back to you anyway, Laura. You're going to get it back anyway. If it ain't this encounter, it's the next one.
Red's going to come up with another reason to give you back the shield.
Well, I could move it around the group, but it just seemed so perfect. When she said Master of the Shield, I just thought to myself, I'm going to be saved by the relic of the Shield of Einherjar. I just want that as my magic exposure for the moment.
You just don't want the tale to be told as he kicked him out of the way with her boot.
Right, exactly. I don't want to be told
before she cast the boots off from being contaminated with the floor.
Exactly. She kicks me with a boot that's somewhat wet with the silver stuff, so I got to lose my coat. But all right, I'll let you. What? I'm sorry, Laura.
Take the ignoble, Laura.
Power.
Yeah.
Power. Desires fulfilled.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And you have a minion. You can write me down as Ogle is at least for one level or the rest of this underworld. If you take a wound, I'll step in front of it as well instead. Rusty, you got 2 paths out of the aluminum room.
What's the deal with you,
wait
Mike?
a minute.
I save you and you won't step in front of a wound for me? You won't even shine my boots? What?
It's true.
What?
It is true, but...
Before we move on, I'll ask, you'll probably say no. I don't suppose pushing the magic grindstone and suddenly becoming a demigod would be a magic ignoble for level 6.
I'll give you halfway there. There'll be something else that'll come along that'll make it for sure. Rusty, we got to the northeast or we got to the straight east?
Oh, we'll go northeast.
Northeast. The pounding is coming from the east, if that matters to you.
What was the pounding supposedly representative of?
The forge.
The forge?
Right now, that's
the Great Forge. Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, then we'll go east.
Okay, you can go.
Follow the pound. Why not?
That's Bruce crushing the Titans in his mind. He blew it into atoms.
All right.
Oh,
now,
Red. Hey,
that's not east.
It's blowing into atoms.
Yeah, that's east. Straight east. This way.
It looked very southeast to me. Okay, we got a little gold coin, and we got
some guy pounding.
Glitnor.
Didn't we meet Glitnor before?
You did. You met one of the former Glitnors. Instead of Glitnor the Potter, the nice one, you got Glitnor the Iron Forge, who's not a nice one.
He's a bad man.
Just to put this in perspective, let me see if I can make this character as small as it would be. That's pretty close.
So is he the noise of the hammer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Can everyone see how?
Hey Tony, you got your little teacup to put this dude in it?
I don't think he is.
Think you get your dude in a little teacup there?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for.
We'll put you on the actually
in there, Tony.
This guy's a metal. You can actually find him, the copper giant. You can see his face there when he smiles at you. That's his best smile, the one he can't remove from his face. If you want to go over one tab, but essentially in this area, Glitnor. Let's see what Glitnor has to do. This is where it gets a little bit odd, as if it isn't odd already, right? Okay, so. Glitnor is actually an enslaved Titanic demon and leader of the Eastern Dwarves. He serves for his unfathomable silent reasons. A flight of dwarves scuttle about with parcels big and small, wheelbarrows and shovels. Most all of what they bring is handed to the Titanic demon. Banter a bit with the players if you wish. He is busy crafting pure elements for the dwarves to use in their methods. He is angry and swings his hammer continuously. It is difficult to talk with him over the pounding. As his perspiration hits various dwarves, the imps drown and choke. You guys probably need to avoid that as well if you get too close. I am Glitnor. Boy, that is a terrible accent. I should probably post it and let Mike do it. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to post this and I'm going to let Mike use his operatic tenor voice for it. Here you go, Mike.
Oh, God.
That's
I am
that voice.
Glitner! Ha 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 ha! Glitner is the blacksmith of the gods. Glitner is immortal. If I am Glitner, I am immortal. Ha 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 ha! Give me the contrapositive of my assertions. Oh God, it's a logic puzzle.
Can you maybe go down like about 2 octaves on that, Mike?
I am Glitner.
That's a little bit better.
About a half an octave.
All right, so who's going to give me the contrapositive of his argument?
He's not Glitner, therefore he's not immortal.
You are Santa, ho ho ho. You are the deliverer of gifts, ho ho ho. No, wait, Santa's immortal. Damn it!
Yeah.
You're the chocolate Easter bunny. Your
Oh,
head is
okay.
bitten off all the time. You're not immortal. You are replaced constantly.
All right, so you're saying if he's not what, then he's what?
If he's not Glitner, then he's not immortal.
Right.
Is that the
He is not.
contrapositive? If he's not Glitner, then he's not immortal.
That's
Does
correct.
that make logical sense?
Mhm.
Seems
Yes.
I
to.
think so.
Okay, so
No.
everything. Yeah. Okay, Rusty, help him out.
Because there's
here.
lots of immortals who are not Glitner, I suspect.
If he is not immortal, he is not Glitner. If we kill him, he's not Glitner.
Yeah, so that's the way you do it. If you say he's mortal, therefore he's not Glitner. That would be
So Rusty steps forward and says, "If you're not immortal, then you couldn't be Glitner."
Oh,
Is that what you say, Rusty?
Yes, if you're not immortal, then you can't be Glitner, or if
That's-
you are mortal, you can't be Glitner.
That is correct. That is the correct contrapositive. All the other ones would be false assumptions. For instance, if you are not Glitner, you are not immortal. No, there are plenty of people that are immortal that are, and if you can also then switch it around. If you're immortal, then you are Glitner. No, not every immortal is Glitner. All right. So,
But this is the one that we have to kill him.
I still believe
this
he's
is
It's
not
the only
what
way-
we're gonna kill him.
because-
Okay. If I am the blacksmith of the gods, I can make anything. If I cannot make something, I am not Glitner. That true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we ask him if he can make a weapon?
50-50, guys.
If I am the blacksmith of the gods, I can make anything. If I cannot make something, I am not Glitner.
Not Glitner.
Okay.
Can
That's
he make
right.
a weapon that can kill immortals? That would be a contrapositive.
Strike me with your swords.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Who
I'll
strikes
strike
him
him.
with a sword?
So they would be
While I'm reluctant,
Glitner
I'll
is the
I'll strike
blacksmith
him.
of the gods would be the positive.
So who strikes him with the swords? We'll go around the
I'll
table.
strike him with-
My
I
guy.
will strike him with
Hey,
my
a
sword.
god is telling me to strike him with my sword. I'm going to strike him with the sword. Rusty, what do you do?
Your swords. Well, I'll certainly strike him with my sword and suffer the
Conrad.
consequences.
The reluctant Puritan will strike him with his sword.
And Laura.
Sure, why not? He invited you.
I stand in front of you, Laura. Mike.
Just so somebody can be different, you guys have already hit him with the sword, so I'm gonna watch.
Oh,
Hey,
that's the wrong one. That's a wrong
Mike,
answer.
you don't have a sword, is what you're saying. Okay.
Tony.
I'm assuming I'm going to have to be the one to kill him anyway, so I might as well strike him.
Okay, and Bruce, you strike him with the sword?
Absolutely.
Okay. After a great deal of sparks nothing, his minions growl and seem angry at the offense. He pushes the imps and goblins back, killing many with a single swipe. If I am Glitner, I am immortal. If I am immortal, I am Glitner. That was a question. No, there are many immortals not named, nor who are. There are many mortals not named, nor are Glitner. Ha ha ha, pay attention. His laughter makes the party members quite queasy. He pounds his hammer down and an explosion of butterflies, mark that, butterflies, erupts into existence. These are chased around the area by the minions, some caught and eaten by their toad-like lunging tongues. I am Glitner, I am immortal, I am blacksmith of the gods. If I am the blacksmith, I can make anything. If I am not the blacksmith, I dare say make nothing. That was a question.
Well,
So do we want
even if he's
Yeah.
not a blacksmith, he can still make stuff. Non-blacksmiths can make stuff.
Do we want him to maybe make something for us?
He can be a baker.
Well, it'd be nice if he would destroy something. You could get rid of your shield. So,
Yeah.
Ooh, can he unmake things?
the question is, if he can
something out
make
of
things, can he change things, or can he destroy things? So far, he's only been making things.
Well, if he can make anything, could he make me a hammer that's a powerful weapon?
He could probably make you a hammer if he so chose.
But he's being coy. He's Glitner. He is coy. If he was not coy, he would not be Glitner.
Can he change the shield into a weapon that can kill immortals?
The only person that has a shield at this moment is Laura, so anything dealing with a shield, Laura would have to ask him. What about the bones of
Besides, that would
Oglesvet?
just become a sword that automatically parries rather than a shield that blocks. It would probably still have the same effect.
I have the shield, don't I?
No,
No,
or
it was
it's
taken
back.
from you.
Red took it away from you.
Yeah,
What
we
to Laura?
started the questioning about making something for us.
Can he
You
make
all
us a
are human,
sarcophagus
aren't
for the
you?
bones?
Humans are a waste of metal. 3%, all that corrosive gunk sealing the hole. Here. He tosses something. Take a chunk of dysporcium. Highly magnetic, can cause those blades of yours to nosedive. It's poisonous too, but would take a pound or more to kill just one of you. Hair rats. Hair rats you are. That's your new name. You're no longer human, you're hair rats.
Okay.
Your turn.
Can he make a sarcophagus for holding the bones of the relic bones?
You ask him about the bones?
Yes.
Let me see. Hold them forth.
We hold them forth.
Okay. You hold them forth. He snatches them up, puts them on the anvil, and hits them with one hammer blow, and the bones of Oglesvet are gone. You've successfully
like Bruce
completed
did.
that. Dry calcium was a rare find indeed.
Can I give him the rubidium?
That's what Bruce did to those titans before.
You want to give him the
Blew 'em up.
rubidium? Yeah, you give him a hunk of rubidium.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at it and says, "Where's the other parts? I can't do something with just rubidium."
Mike's got all the other parts.
I
now.
have a
Bruce
red
has all the other parts.
rubidium too.
Make anything.
What else do you give?
A rhenium.
I'll hand him one of my cubes.
Rhenium. So now we got rhenium, indium, and what was the first one you gave him, Bruce?
Rubidium, rhenium,
And calcium.
Erbium. I did get those three.
Okay. Rhenium, indium, and erbium, you're saying.
Erbium, yes.
Okay, you hand him those three metals, he looks on his palm, and then he puts out his other hand and goes, "Your sword, sir."
Ooh.
Do you give him your sword?
Do I give him my sword?
Yeah, he wants to put those things
absolutely.
on your sword.
Absolutely.
A very, very wise hair rat. Let's find out what happens.
It's going to be
All
a
right.
sword you can't carry there, Bruce.
Yeah.
Well,
Bruce doesn't
I
use a
hope
sword
it's not going to
anyway.
be that bad.
Well, the
gotta find my
rubidium will
formula
drain
here.
his...
Okay, I got your formula here. Okay, so rhenium. Rhenium. Okay, Bruce. You have a number of 15, and then he takes indium, and we subtract 2 to get 13, and then the final thing you picked was
I did
erbium,
rubidium
right?
and erbium. I did rubidium as well. Rhenium and rubidium.
13.
Does the calcium do anything?
And you gave him one of your blocks.
Well, my block red's already counted those. Those are that's the indium.
He says he's going to convert your sword to ice. And you will gain a random personal swaggering for handling it.
Okay.
And you get number 3. So your sword is now made of ice, and it gives you charismatic style. If you already have it, lock it as glorious. If it's already locked as glorious,
I have
nothing. You already have it?
No, I do not.
Okay, so check it. So you are charismatic style with your new ice sword. Does everyone understand the formula to make an ice sword? It was rhenium, indium, and iridium.
I don't see indium on the list, Fred. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I do see it.
Okay, so if you guys wish, you can go and find metals, and you can give them over to Glittner, and he can enhance your blade. If you ever try to do it twice, he tells you that he's already done all he can do for it. But it is totally at your option, and bad things can happen from this as well.
Why would you want an ice blade?
Well,
or a blade of ice?
It's like
It'd be really good
cold,
against the fire guys.
Huh?
Yeah.
Water guys.
And it's cool.
I mean, it still has all of its other magic properties, Rusty. It didn't take away, for instance, if it was ingenious and had a soul of its own, or if it was biting and could move in all directions. If it was gladiatorial and was well weighted, all those would still be true. Plus, now it's also made of ice. And Bruce also picked up a swaggering by handling it, so that's another option you can get from it. If you're not
prudence, forethought, because I knew that it would be.
I'll give you that. I think it was a little bit more luck, but it was good luck, and good luck should be rewarded as well. So if you find metals in this underworld and bring them back in the right combination, now there are other things in the underworld can help you define what whether you want an element or not, and there are some bad ones to try to mold in your weapons. So it could go wrong for you. You could end up losing things. You could end up destroying your blade, I guess, in the worst case. That's quite rare that you would destroy your entire blade. But it is an option. All right.
Like lead, arguably, logically, would be bad to put in your blade because lead is a soft metal. If we went back and got some titanium, titanium is the hardest metal. So
chromium and zinc are the ones you want, right?
If this had any sort of scientific basis, I would argue that you're correct, Mike.
But it's alchemical logic, okay.
Yes, if it's just me making a formula based on the metals that have been exposed, then you're never going to figure it out unless somebody tells you a better way to figure it out. But here's the other thing: does anyone, Laura? It's now up to you. We've done about everything we can do with Glittner, unless you want to go get metals and come back. He has destroyed the Bones of Oglesvet. Morg's prize is not here. Did you want to hand him the Shield of Einherjar and see if he can do something with it or not?
Absolutely.
Sure. Come on, you wanna.
Don't do it. It's not the place.
Red said that we'll know where we can leave
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it.
I think we'll kind of put a pin in this room and we can gather metals as we keep exploring.
He's not going anywhere.
That sounds like a good thing. Have you checked your prudence yet?
I don't think I have.
Might I check crafty deeds for disposing of the bones?
Yes, if you're the ones that dispose the bones, absolutely.
I have not checked prudence yet, so.
She's and Laura's checking prudence, and I don't think I did anything ignobly in this room.
You want to turn the light on, sweetheart?
Prudence for not giving him.
No, I'm not going to turn it on.
Well, at some point, I'll want to come back and try and get my desires fulfilled, profit and power by possibly enhancing my.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna stop by this room at this point. We're just gonna try and collect metals and.
Right, I got it.
Well, and if you already know that you need calculate or charismatic style C, then that one you already know the formula for. Right. So anything else, you're taking a risk.
Correct. If you guys want to be a party with the ice blades, you certainly can be a party with the ice.
So you know how to get a C if you need a C. I think a lot of us had it already.
I actually don't.
I don't have a C if I wanted to pick up a C for personal swaggering. So.
Yep.
But I want somebody to figure out the combination that gives me all 20 blade swaggering. That would be cool.
Oh no, you don't. That's a punishment. We know better than that.
Not a third.
We've read the rules.
Mike, I posted something in chat for you to give your 2-octave lower Glittner for us.
Rat, this piece is already foolishly empowered.
Okay, so that's what would happen if you gave him the Shield of Einherjar. He can't do anything with it. He only makes relics. He doesn't undo relics.
He's part of the union.
Yes, it's a union thing, you know.
I'm going to get a grievance written against me if I try to unmake a relic.
Actually, it says that if anyone actually handed him the Shield of Einherjar, he would laugh so hard their appendix would burst. But since Laura was prudent enough, I'm going to leave the coin there as gold, and I'm going to go ahead and move you back to the aluminum room for the moment, and make Rusty bigger.
Only got one choice here.
There's only one choice, unless you
only one choice.
Titanium.
Why not use the one choice?
Okay.
I wanted to go that way anyway. Okay.
Everyone wants to go that way anyway. Why wouldn't you go that way anywhere?
I don't know.
I took some effort and put this together, so you're going to have to visit every room. No, so doesn't matter the order you get it in. All right, this Dysprosium room. Did you remember what Glittner said about Dysprosium? Yes,
highly magnetic, and it's poisonous.
Yes, the room is highly magnetic. Everyone sticks to the floor and walls. At least your blades do. Free each blade with magic like voltaic or demonic. Maybe demigod can pull it free. So I'm going to go around the table. Rusty, how do you free your own blade from the Dysprosium room? That's probably the way you pronounce that. I have to get on Google.
Oh, let's see. I think we'll use we'll use demigod. No, let's see. I should probably use something. I'll basically conjure it across.
Use conjuration as a wizardry technique. Give me an ordinary roll, please. It's going to be like a 4. Oof. Rusty has now taken a half D8 increase of your warped outcome, please.
Ouch.
That's 2 players picked the underworld to have an accident in. And what is your total now, Rusty?
It's going to be, my character sheet became ridiculously wide, so I have no idea why, so I have to try and get over to that part of the sheet. That would make 11 plus 3, 14.
14. You want to read that off for us?
Tony's got that up.
We have designated Tony the cruel man of warped outcome.
Sorry, I was muted. My bad. The result is weaken the character's resolve in dealing with the supernatural. Whenever he uses recitation, he must roll twice and take the worst of the 2 results. If above level 5 and rolling multiple attempts, each roll should be diced twice. Take the worst to determine its outcome. This lasts until the conclusion of the adventure.
All right, so Rusty, your recitation has basically been crippled by the fact that you had the warped outcome. Plus, your sword is still stuck to the wall, and somebody else is going to have to help you with that. My character will use his energetic, rutted, and clever. I will use 3 traits and eliminate those 3 traits from you guys using them to free Rusty's blade. I'll be more of a servant for the group for the moment. And my ordinary roll is a 7, and of course I fail even using those 3 traits. So my blade and Rusty's blade is stuck to the wall. And we move on to Conrad. Conrad, we got 2 blades stuck to the wall, and we have...
So we don't have to use wizardry techniques, right? We can use other things, correct?
You can use anything as long as you can justify it in terms of a story.
I'm going to use concentration with my golden blade and thought control.
Don't eat them all up. Don't eat up all the options.
Yeah, that's fine. I doubt anyone else has golden, so I'm using concentration golden and thought control to put my blade in a place where it's equally balanced as it moves across the room. In other words, the magnetic
You're going to free your blade on an ordinary roll. You're going to free your blade and 1 other blade on a difficult roll. A tasking would get all 3 blades unstuck.
Let me do 2 blades, mine and 1 other.
Okay, difficult roll.
Difficult roll, and we got quest pip, so it's a 6 for me. And I assume I'm rolling once. So
just 8. Once on the task resolution. Okay, so what was it? You freed Rusty's blade.
Rusty's blade, of course, right?
Even though my blade is golden. Remember, my blade was originally held by Ungmar. And we move on to Laura. Laura, on a difficult roll, you can free your blade and my blade. On a ordinary roll, you can free your own blade. But first, you have to tell me how you do it.
Yeah, I'll let somebody higher level try to get other blades free and not risk getting mine stuck, or less risk of getting mine stuck too. But
that's fine.
I have blade bounding,
Very good. You're just going to basically command it to come off the wall. Go ahead and give me 2 dice and make that ordinary roll.
Gonna help me here, hopefully. Yay, I made that.
Mike, you know the rules? Ordinary to get your own, difficult to get 2.
I'm gonna try for a difficult roll. Did somebody use demigod already?
Rusty did.
Rusty used demigod and failed.
Oh, no, I didn't. I used conjuration.
No, that's right. Yeah, demigod has not been used, Mike. You can use demigod and try to free 2 blades.
I'm going to use the great strength of my demigod, and I'll let you decide if it's better to justify biting or hellish, as my blade just cuts through this wall anyway, so I just drag it across, cut through the wall with it as I go with my demigod strength.
Give me 2 dice and give me that roll of difficult then to get your blade and my blade off the wall.
And wait a minute, I need to refresh. Need to look at that because I just went to level 6, so my skill changed. So I need
6 is you're only going to need a 4. 6. It's going to be a 3 on 2 dice. Oh, I'm sorry, it becomes a 7 and -1 for the quest pip is a 6.
I need a 6. How about an 8?
Okay, so you have freed my blade, and I thank you. But I'm already blocking and saving the Lady Moradin, so I cannot protect you as well. Plus, as I remember, you also passed out, so you're not a demigod from
he's my boo. he's my shy boy.
I thought you gained demigod and passed out from the wheel.
You did, but I did as well, and so it's less impressive than. Tony, how do you get your blade off the wall?
Well, it's interesting. Everyone's, uses so much magic. It's actually, if they use their heroic swordplay, it's much more like a lock, and it's just a matter of moving it in the correct way using your heroic swordplay.
Give me a ordinary roll, please.
Okay. I have succeeded.
Terrific, and we finally got Bruce. Last but not least, as we would say. Bruce, how do you get your blade off the wall?
I would actually try to power it by using an equal and opposite force. It
uses ice.
It is ice.
It is ice, that's true. But you're not going to wait for it to melt. What you were beginning to say, Bruce, before we heard the voice of Gollum?
Just try to outpower it with my telekinesis.
Okay, you're going to use telekinesis to basically call it back to your hand. I can give you that. Go ahead and give me that ordinary roll, please.
Oh, yeah, I did it.
He's using telekinesis to push the wall away, not the other way around.
Yes, I think
he's just pushing the wall out of the way. The blade Rusty, goes where it wants.
You have
the wall
2 choices from the Dysprosium room.
Yeah, I see the 2 choices. Sure, we'll why not just loop around back to titanium? What the heck? Let's go that way.
Okay, you're going to go that way. When you said loop around back to titanium, you had me frightened there that you're going to go back all the way through the whole.
No, we're going to trailblaze a new path, and Red wants us to visit every room. Let's complete.
Oh, I would not want you to visit every room. I just, I would have to combine all the rooms into one room if you. not gonna waste effort.
A silvery thingy here.
Boron. The area is filled with dwarves and goblins and busy lesser demons of all description. Be ashamed to fight here and get overrun by mobs. Q&D checking and limiting pointless skirmish of the cup rod category. You're going to run at least 1 set of encounters through that. So let me go to cup rod under my encounters. Back up to the top here so I can find a table of contents.
Cup rod limits skirmish.
Cup rods limiting rods. Yeah, there is a checking or limiting skirmishes in the underworld on page 142. And I left off with Bruce.
Tool.
So I'm going to flip the card for me. And I have flipped myself a knight. And a knight says that adjust the well-worn hilt of your fighting blade, an obvious expression of begone weaklings. So I'm basically faced by this area, this boron area, these demons and goblins and dwarves all mining this stuff. They all suddenly turn and look at me, and all I do is just basically loosen my sword, my scabbard. To what avail? If I can make a 7 on 2 dice, I can end the encounter and pick up Blade Gladiatorial. I do not have a make roll because I am not of that level yet. But 2 dice for a 7. there's never
and a quest pip plus 1
wasted effort here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pick up prudence for avoiding the combat here, and I will also take my my blade gladiatorial.
Can I take experiences beyond comprehension because the level 0 guy just faced down a room full of dwarves, goblins, and lesser demons with a...
No, you weren't, because you probably were right behind me, and it wasn't me that was doing it. It was all of you guys doing it, especially the ice blade.
Fair enough.
But
Tony, of course.
I actually, by that roll, I locked my gladiatorial blade as glorious, which I will circle on my sheet. But that's it for that room. Rusty, there's 2 other... I'm going to leave that silver coin because we actually have not killed everything in that room, nor would I think we want to. Does anyone need battle? Have we all checked that off?
Ron?
I have not, actually. I took adventure, or I'm sorry, I took heroics for defeating the 4 heinous goblins.
Well, we can always provoke a battle or just wait for it the next level. Rusty, which direction you wish to go into from here?
We're going south.
South. South is always the right option, I believe, unless you need to go the other way. Let's see what we takes that to. Beryllium, the beryllium sphere. All right, let's see what beryllium room does. I got to get back to my my notes here.
I don't want to say the obvious here, but you pretty much could have used that chunk of aluminum in every room, and it would have all looked the same.
Is there a way to test these metals to see if they could be good for swords?
Yeah, well, you can take chunks of all the metal you're passing through. Right now, it would just be a random cipher. There is a way that you're going to learn more about how to do the formula besides a random cipher. I
bet that library's top right, Rusty. That's the throwaway room. The place we're looking for is the center. He's going to spiral us into the center, and so the throwaway room is on the outside.
All right. Well, once you step inside the beryllium room, it closes. And you're in complete darkness. And you hear a voice. I am the arcane riddle master. The voice sounds like Gandalf. In fact, as maybe a faint glow appears on the man, you see that he looks a lot like Gandalf, or he looks a lot like Ian McKellen. And he even has the oversized floppy hat. The flat hat is so big that you actually can sit beneath the hat and not get drenched in the rain. He's going to ask you a series of questions, of course, because it is an underworld and this is utterly strange. All right, so the first question, are you ready, gentlemen? Final Jeopardy round.
Arthur King
I thought that was the question.
The Holy Grail, blue, no yellow.
That is the second question then. Okay, where is 2 minus 3 equal to 11? 2 minus 3 equal to 11. 2 minus 3. D. Without shouting it out, Laura, do you have an idea? Alan Rickman, sure. It's not Alan Rickman in the hat, though. Yes.
Where is 2 minus 3 equal to 11?
Yes. If you do not have an answer, don't worry about it. And Bruce.
I don't have an answer.
Rusty.
Equal to 11, huh? Let's see.
It's got to be a chemical.
Well, if you do, let's look at binary. So 2 would be 2 1s, which would be 3, and 3 would be 3 1s, which is 7. That would be 10, not 11. So that doesn't work. So binary doesn't work. Have no idea.
What about base 7, Rusty, where the 2 would be maybe a 14. 14 minus 3 is an 11. I don't know.
Yeah, that might work.
Tony.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's
Mike.
It,
Anyone?
I have base 7. In the base 7.
Base 7, 2 minus 3, and base 7? Is that the answer of the group?
I'm going to throw out an outlier. I like the math in the base 7. I was thinking that, but I'm going to go with a non-Euclidean space where things twist, because if I do 2 minus 3 and I get a -1, but I'm in a non-Euclidean space where things twist, then I could just read that -1 as 11.
Okay.
How about if you'd make it into partial Roman numerals, so it becomes I1. So I, so 11.
Tony's on to something. Is it? No, that doesn't work out because that'd be a 14 that we need to get to an XI. 2 minus. Oh.
There
2
you
minus
go.
3 equal to 11. Yes, on a clock, of course.
Okay, and so the riddle master takes off his big floppy hat and he puts it on Bruce, and he says, "Your turn." Stumped you. What do you do, Bruce? You got a big floppy hat, if you know.
Sort of suits you, Bruce.
Yeah. So what do I need to do? Are you asking me to do something?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Well, you're in a room that's dark, dimly lit. The man's face. I mean, you probably are magical enough that you've illuminated the party to some degree. The guy asked the question, "Where is 2 minus 3 equal to 11?" I am the arcane riddle master, and when nobody guessed it, he just gave you the answer on the clock, and then he said, "You're it," and he gave you the big hat.
So he wants you to come up with a riddle.
Do I have to come up with a riddle? Okay, the greater I am, the less you see of me.
Okay, anyone have an answer to that one?
Sorry, what was that again?
The greater I am, the less you see of me.
The greater I am, the less you see of me.
Darkness.
That's it.
Good answer, Bruce. You should say that to any answer that you get.
Yeah.
I guess you did. I guess you didn't stump him, Bruce. So, but what you gonna do with the big hat? You're gonna give it to somebody to answer the question?
I'll give it to Conrad, and we don't want to answer
hat.
the question.
Conrad, I guess Bruce reaches out and takes the big hat off his head and puts it on your head. The Gandalf fella, the Alan Rickman fella, sort of pats Conrad on the back and says, "That was a good riddle and a good guess."
The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
The more you take, what do you leave behind? What am I?
The more you take, the more you leave behind.
Time.
It's like a hole or something, isn't it? Where the more you take out of a hole, the more space, the more
time. The more time you take, the more time passes.
All answers are correct, but I was looking for footsteps.
Footsteps. The more you take, the more you leave behind. It's very good too. Yes, very good. I guess you could say you could pass the hat or not. After a little while, and you've gone through hundreds and hundreds of riddles, you start to realize that this guy's just been trapped in here and gone insane.
He's just screwing with us. So who wants to keep the whip?
He's not the lich that says the answer to the riddle is freedom, and you let him free when you guess the riddle, right?
Well, you could try that, and no, it doesn't get you out of the room. How do you get out of How did you get out of the Tesseract room?
Just chop our way out.
Well, I mean, you didn't drop your way out of that room, but you did use magic to get out of the Tellurium room.
Yeah, just a portal, right?
Yeah. So how do you get out of this room?
Yeah, I'm not a magic dude. I would chop my way out, even though I have magical skills. So I would leave the magic.
You're going to chop at the beryllium wall?
Well, I mean, I'm not a magic dude, so I would, hey, Rusty, could you make me a portal here, dude?
Not me anymore. Remember, 2 dice.
Because you're double negative. Okay, so I got Bruce there to melt the wall down. Hey, Bruce, you're the magic dude.
That's how we got out.
I got my shine boy, Mike. Hey, Mike, open me a portal here.
Yeah, we can do cosmic, can't we, to get out?
Yeah,
you can do cosmic. It's going to be a difficult because we use cosmic a lot. If you use your pyrotech and say melt a hole, like Conrad says, I'll give you an ordinary roll instead.
Okay, I'll do ordinary.
I don't think beryllium is a flash metal like magnesium, but I think you're okay. A four does it, but it was with the least amount of effort. You come back into the demon room for a second. They're still quiet for the moment, and we head into this room.
So we're going to put the riddle wizard cap on Bruce, right?
You could take it with you. It seems like it's something that'd be very hard to fight with.
I think rather than going in that direction, let's be completist and go back to the
library in the top corner.
Yeah, go back up here.
I like that.
Okay.
Good job, Rusty.
Well, if you're going to be completist, you got a room off of titanium. I'm just saying that 50-50.
We're going to get there. Don't worry.
One of them's going to get bad.
I could have had the whole answer to the underworld. I could have put the whole answer to the underworld one step away from the entrance just to make you walk through the whole thing.
I know, you could have.
A nickel. Who needed that battle?
I think, I need battle because I just leveled up.
Tony needed the battle.
Yeah, I need battle.
All right, several titans seem to be having fun staging a war game. As the players enter them, one of the titans scoops up the entire party and places them in a castle to defend. More pieces, guys! The titans yell out. The enemy below the wall looks to be an assortment of non-human and demi-humans. There may be even a wizard of two. We're going to fight a Q&D defend the citadel following the normal skirmishing rules all the way to victory. Any player at any time may decide to take actions on the rear guard instead of moving back into the larger fray. The results of hold, skirmish, charge, surrender, etc. are treated as the player characters gain escape from the room. So we're going to put you in Q&D skirmish. You're going to defend the citadel, and if you obtain something that pushes the action or ends the action, that would get you out of the little Titan battle. Let me go to my my fundamentals book and find the table that I'm looking for.
It's page 257.
I believe it's also in the tool, right? Sieges?
Yeah, it's under conflict of arms, yeah. Defending citadels.
And defending the walls here, right? Defense of the, it's not Magic Gate, it is defending the citadel.
Yep.
There's a storming the citadels, and there is a sieges.
Storm walls.
But yes, it's defend the citadel is the one that you're going to actually flip cards on. And did I leave off on Bruce again, and it starts with me again? Why is the number on Bruce? Because Bruce was the last one we had an event for, I think, right?
Well, you actually haven't flipped a lot of cards overall, and you kind of skipped around a little bit.
Start us from scratch, so we can maybe get around to Tony. I got a 3, Rusty, on the defending of the citadel.
And I see it's not even a Bane.
No, it wouldn't matter if it's a Bane anyway. There's no Bane in this.
Oh, okay. Desalinate a pool of brackish water. No one need go thirsty, especially by the sea. Fail and all players suffer shaken penalty. Regardless, add a half D8 steps towards oblivion on your tally of warped outcomes.
That's good for you, Rusty.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
It'll get you out of the. It'll get you out of the.
Are you?
Does it get rid of it?
Are you gifted, Rusty? I do believe there's one of the skills. I think like gifted, you can. Is it gifted? You can
avoid your first warped outcome. Yes.
Are you gifted, Rusty?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you may use your gifted tactical trait and ignore your first warped outcome.
Well, he already had a warped outcome before, which was that deuce. The deuces, which put him in the double don't magic.
Sure,
roll.
He could have ignored that one, and then this one would have been.
No, I didn't. Wasn't the one who got the don't. The deuces got, or was it? Well,
yes,
that was you.
Got that when your sword was stuck to the wall.
This one, though.
In other words, this one will get you out of the hole, won't it?
The disc said, no, we're not going to change where he's at because he's had essentially 2 warped outcomes. He can cancel one of the 2, whether he canceled the previous one or this one. It will all be the same mathematically.
Okay, so difficulty 8, advantage apothecary.
It's a tough word. Apothecary, I think.
Apothecary. Let's see. That's methodical, and I am not methodical. So
2 dice for an 8, or you are going to shake the party.
Oh, boy.
It's a 7 because of the quest pip.
Right. And, okay. Everybody's shaking.
Oh,
you know, we just...
Thanks, Rusty.
We just cannot find a good roll, at times. I've made some very nice ones myself, though, so far. But we're going to move on to Conrad.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, if I don't use my gifted and I take warped outcome, does that undo the previous warped outcome when I get a new warped outcome?
Let the clever Puritan ask the question. Rusty, what level are you?
Give me warped outcome.
Huh? I'm level 5.
What does level 5 get?
2 rolls.
Two rolls.
All right.
All right. We're not shaking. That's nice.
No, you're not shaken, but we still have the issue on the warped outcome. So does a new warped outcome overcome the previous warped outcome and result?
Rusty, I will suggest that you go ahead and take the warped outcome because that should put you at the magic null thing just for this adventure. And since we're already 2 characters already have the magic null affecting the whole party,
might as well get it now.
Get it now because it'll end at the end of this adventure, and you don't have to worry about it later.
Okay. Well, that's a good point. But does it actually get rid of my other?
No. I think it just adds to, but this next one is
all right.
That plus this, so.
What does that take you to, Rusty?
18.
18. The character attracts a tutor.
Oof.
Okay, you got the toot.
Go to 20, and then set your warp tally to 25.
Yeah, you've got your...
What?
Everyone's going to jump to 25 eventually. So...
I guess you jumped right past it, Rusty.
Laura is correct with what she's saying. You pass a bad point of warped outcome by hurting the whole party by being a magic null. You get to a point where you've attracted a cosmic tutor of some sort. You should name that person, and then you can read the rest of that at your leisure. And I move on to, was it Conrad? Conrad, I'm flipping a card for you to see if we can get
So I set my tally now to 25, is what you're saying.
Correct.
At the end of this.
Yes.
All right.
After having gotten us unshaken there.
Thank you.
And I give us a 2, Conrad, on defense. It's a turn 1 pig into 2.
Turn 1 pig into 2 before the townsfolk seek up to butcher a horse. Fail and suffer shaken penalty. If any character in the party has the wizardry conjuration L, difficulty decreases by 3. So advantage skill, farrier breeder, and I believe I am a farrier breeder. Let me check.
3 dice for a 6 with the quest pip. 3 dice for a 5. This is pretty much going to be.
No, I am not a farrier breeder. I do not have rugged skill, so I'm a 9. I'm a 9 less 3 because somebody has the skill, and quest pips. I'm looking at a 5. I'm rolling twice, and I succeed.
Okay, we're still not out of the siege yet,
but we're not shaken. Woohoo!
But we're not shaken. I go on to Laura. Laura, how about if I give you a result of 7?
Only if it's a good one.
Sneak out to hunt local game.
Sneak out to hunt local game, perhaps doing so numerous times as need arises. Success, and the enemy is driven away. The siege has been lifted, but fail and suffer a vicious wound. Difficulty 7, advantage skill hunter, which I believe I am.
If she
So
makes
you have
this
a problem
roll,
here.
She gets us out of the room.
And Tony didn't draw a card, so he didn't get battle.
Oh no, I'm not gifted. I'm not a hunter. Ugh.
Such is my.
But the die has definitely moved closer to Tony. That I keep getting stuck around Bruce and myself, the furthest away. So Laura has gotten us out of the room. Let's see if there's anything else that needs to be done in this room. No, there isn't. But I tell you what I will do. For those of foolish temperament, Tony, I'll let you run back in and try to finish the siege by yourself and escape yourself if you desperately need to check a battle.
I do. I will absolutely go do that.
All right. So Tony's by himself. Let's see if he can get out of this alive.
That sounds like leadership, me driving the enemy away.
I will give you that, Laura.
Woohoo! That levels me.
3, Tony.
5?
It's 3. This is desalinate a pool of brackish water. No need to go thirsty, especially by the sea. Fail and all players suffer shaken. Regardless, add a half a die 8 steps toward oblivion on your tally of warped outcomes. Difficulty 8, advantage skill, apothecary. I do not believe I'm an apothecary.
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of 3s came up.
Yeah, I am not an apothecary. So 2 dice of a 7.
Yes,
Quest
that is
pip
correct.
1, yeah.
So 2 dice of a 7. I have succeeded.
Okay.
And then, regardless, I move forward from 25. Huh?
Are you gifted?
I am gifted.
Okay. If you wish, you could cancel this roll, or you
This
can.
is a good one, Tony. It's a benign spirit if you take the 29.
I'll cancel this roll.
Okay,
Are you
cancel
sure?
that one. Stay at 25. That's a good
Tony,
way.
if you took it, you would go to 29. A benign spirit would attach itself, adding an extra half D8 skills, 1 trait, or glorious spirit guide.
Really?
You might want to take that one.
Wow. Okay. Character add an extra.
Here, I'll put that in the.
I'm reading it. Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Yeah.
Do I get to choose, or is it just one of those things?
It says your choice.
I mean, extra half of the 8 skills, 1 trait, or glorious spirit guide. Well, I already have spirit guide, and that is, you know what?
Traits are good. Opens up new skills for you. If you don't have all 6
traits, I have 6.
Oh, well, then you could get a half D8 skills.
Or you could take the 7th trait and go on to heaven.
I'm waiting for that.
Yes.
You know what? Actually, I will be smart about this. I will take Spirit Guide at Glorious, even though I haven't just checked it, so that I can always talk with
Ogmar.
with Ugmar all the time.
We might as well call him the title clock keeper.
Yes, because that is what I need.
Yeah, title clock keeper. Always having contact with him is not a bad thing to say, and that would probably give you a check and make this battle more significant. But your actual action is going to be a 10 to see if you can win this.
Oh, okay.
8, 10. A 10. Enact a silent rotation from post to post, punctuated by intermittent shouts and laughter, allowing you to make your small force appear as a gregarious army. It's just me running around.
That's right.
Okay. Success, an enemy is driven away, and resignation, the siege has been lifted. If any character in the party has the wizardly illusion, I'm by myself, so no. Difficulty decreases by 3. Difficulty 13. Advantage longboat orderly kept. Do we have?
We didn't bring that. We don't have it.
We don't. That's too bad. So I am 2 dice of a 13, or down to a 12.
Do you have a make roll?
I do, but I wouldn't be able to grab.
That's right. For battle, you can use the make roll. Thank you.
There's no bad thing for failure. Just another card. So.
No, I think I'm up to another.
Okay, let's see what another card comes up. How about if we give you a 7?
A 7.
Sevens
Sneak
are
out
good.
to hunt local game, perhaps doing so numerous times as need arises. Success, enemy is driven away, the siege has been lifted, but fail and suffer vicious wound. Difficulty 7, advantage skill hunter. Am I a hunter? I am a hunter.
Yes, you are.
So I'm 3 dice for the 6. And I have lifted the siege.
Okay,
well,
so
you were
may
hunting,
check.
hunting local game tokens because it was a war game, right? So
Yes. Hunting tokens or hunting for an exit out of this battle is another way to look at it in terms of where it is in the game. So we don't want to enter the nickel room, although I'll say that you have nickel with you if you decide you want to use that. You've already gone to the beryllium room. Rusty, you could go all the way back around to titanium, where you could take that one path you decided not to take.
We'll go out of the boron, and
I see where it is.
There we go.
Shield room. Laura is away from keyboard, but
well, then her assistant will have to wrench the shield from her hand. Inside is a dark recess which holds objects that can only be recovered if you know what you want. You can retrieve Morg's shield or drop in the Einherjar. You can also toss in the Bones of Saint Oglesvet. There's no need, you've already destroyed them properly. But you cannot just reach in and grab a relic of the age. The lock on the vault is a cipher of 3 letters. Many small cubes are scattered about the floor. You try some and see they fit, but none of them correspond to symbols you need. Each person has his own code. All right? So go back to the indium room or find the 3 letters you need.
I've already got a bunch of indium cubes.
That's good. If you don't know the clue to the cipher, your trial and error will be interrupted by demons coming in to use the vault. 2 choices before that should happen. Else take a stab or give up.
Can we see what the initials are, or are they different for each person?
I will read it once more before I'll post. Actually, I should post it while we...
Okay, because Laura just returned. We're in the shield room where you can get rid of the shield. Red's about to post the description in the chat.
And I'll read it again. So, many small cubes are scattered about the floor. You try some and see that they fit, but none of them correspond to symbols you need. Each person has his own code. Go back to the indium room, or Mike has a number of symbols, and find the 3 letters you need. Now, you can try randomly 3 letters, or I'm hinting that somewhere else there is going to be more information, both on the patterns needed for Glitner to improve your blades and how you can make the shield vault work.
so there's no reason we have to do this now other than getting rid of the shield. We should get rid of the shield if we can. Do we need to find the pattern to get rid of the shield?
Yes.
Well, what he's saying is you're gonna if you attempt to just randomly put letters in, we're gonna get attacked by demons.
Well,
if we needed battle, wouldn't be a problem, right?
I'll give you 2 chances before you get attacked by demons. So
yeah, well,
3 letters.
let's go explore some more before we.
Just so that we're all clear, Bruce, give me any letter.
Yeah, any letter?
Yeah, give me a letter. Once again, please.
L.
L. And Tony, give me any letter.
Schwa.
Schwa. Okay.
Yeah, I'll
The
say
letter
any.
schwa.
Upside down.
Yeah, that's good. Good guess, Tony. Yeah. Okay. Stick to the sword fighting. Okay, bud.
Yeah, that's obviously
Conrad,
going to be one of the
Conrad,
points.
would you like to give me any letter?
Let's go with X.
Okay, so you try L schwa X, and that appears not to be a combination that would work for any of you. So
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Tony.
Vox.
I picked a letter that no one else has ever heard of in the entire universe.
Schwa.
I think
and Rusty, pick a direction.
You know how this works, right, Tony?
You can't just go with Omega.
What did you ask, Red?
Yeah, go ahead, Rusty, and pick a direction. You got two ways out of this room, or I'm not going to say. I'm going to say this probably for the last time. There is a path off of titanium.
Well, we're going to get there too. Eventually, maybe.
Yes.
But let's go this way. What the heck?
Okay.
He baited you, Rusty. Well, we did find the room because it's the obvious room, right?
Yes, it is the obvious room. A room that's marked Shield Vault would probably be the obvious.
It's pretty obvious.
Okay, so the germanium room. I'm looking at my G for germanium, and you notice there is a gold coin in there.
And a hunk of tinfoil.
And a hunk of the metal germanium, which looks exactly like aluminum and could have been the same graphic all around, except for the internet. If you just type in metals, it'll give you all these beautiful pictures. I assume that Google is paying the copyright and royalties on them, not me. Here find a group of scoundrels, rogue delvers. They're carving hunks of metal off the wall. About them are plenty of goblin corpses. They first move to attack, but stop when they see you are humans. Over a shared drink of ale, it's always got to be ale in a fantasy game, they tell you a secret. The leader, Danica, says she's feeling generous. Are you ready for the secret? Of course you're ready for the secret.
Yeah, we're ready for the secret. Danica.
Post it as I read it. As some may be aware, copper and zinc form brass. Copper and tin form bronze. These allies make properties known to smiths of the Outlands. Glittner can be tricked into combining elements. Don't know who Glittner is. She chuckles, but no, it's the Hammerfall guy, right?
Right.
So bring the enslaved demon a metal, an essential mineral, and a poison, and he will fashion an ingot of an ally for you. Some have no value, so choose carefully. For a promise of treasure, not here, but in Isborsk, she will tell you different formulas that will work. What's it going to be? You're going to give up some of the treasure you collected along this mission?
Well, since I can't spend the treasure as one of my character flaws, I certainly would do that.
You've also already got the formula that you've used on your blade, so you don't really have to do that, Bruce.
Now, calcium was a mineral. But, Prosium is a poison.
All right. So
I'll certainly give some wealth up to.
Yeah, I would give some up as well.
She's going to give you, and I'm just scanning my text here to find the. Okay, so here are the things that you can combine. So 7 metals are cobalt, copper, chromium, nickel, niobium, rhenium, and titanium. Add one of the 6 essential minerals, aluminum, beryllium, germanium, indium, lead, and zinc, and sweeten with one of the 5 poisons. Bruce, for whatever reason, picked a metal, a mineral, and a poison, and it resulted in the ice blade. And if you do that again, you'll get the ice blade. As for the shield vault, the 3 letters that you pick, the 3 letters have to form 3 words in order to open the vault.
So it's three letters can become 3 words, right?
3 letters have to make 3 words.
So if it was ABC, and ABC could spell 3 different words, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Tony's
threw it
right
up
with
there.
tar, rat, and art would all spell. No
Those are good
schwa
words
there.
for us, right?
No schwa, sorry.
No
I
schwa.
left it
Yeah.
out this time.
Yes, the schwa would probably be one that would probably not.
Well, there's only a few vowels in there.
Well, and I think Tony's got one. There's probably a bunch of words that'll do this, or maybe Red's looked it up. There's 6 or something. So there's 6 words that can be spelled 6 3-letter combinations that can become 3 different words, right?
Well, does anyone remember what Glittner was decided he was going to rename you?
The rat.
Air rats, right?
Air rat.
Air rats.
Air rats.
That's another a little bit more.
Yeah, so
more
rat's
subtle.
one of the words, right?
Okay. With the information you've gotten from the germanium room, there's 2 other places. For instance, I listed the metals as cobalt. Well, there you go. One of them's going to be the cobalt room because you haven't revealed that one yet. And one of the metals is copper. One of them's going to be the copper room that you haven't visited yet.
Right.
But whether you go to the copper room or the cobalt room, it's not going to help you a great deal. If you want to try to improve your blade, go ahead and pick one of the 3 metals, minerals, and poisons, and then head back to Glittner. I got the calculations here in front of me. Also, if you try, Tony, did you try rat?
Sure, rat.
Okay, rat. So now there is one little twist about all this, and I'll give you an ordinary roll that you actually put the combination of letters in the correct way, because rat, tar, and art will open the vault. But if the 3 letters used form anything other than a verb, the person setting the letters in place will open the vault and suffer a vicious wound from electrical shock. So you didn't specifically tell me I was setting in there. You made it, correct?
Yeah.
So at the last minute, you decide that you're going to. Which one is a verb? Art.
Rat is no
rat. You
Rat's
dirty
a verb.
rat. Yeah, that's.
Tar,
That's a
yeah,
noun.
Ratted him out.
tarring and feathering.
Yeah, ratted
Yeah.
him out. He tarred him. Yeah.
But I'll let you escape the electric wound. You'll go ahead and you'll order Ogle to do it for you while he's the low guy on the totem pole. All right.
Yeah.
So you
Get the
put
verb. Hogel's like, what the heck's a verb?
you put in the Shield of Einherjar, but I'm going to allow anyone to stop that at the moment. Does anyone want to stop that, or is it time to give up the Shield of Einherjar because eventually it's going to turn even worse than it is?
Gosh, I really like it. It's nice to have a relic like that with us.
Tony likes having a shield that takes somebody else's make rolls.
Yeah, exactly. Not worried about my.
I think it's prudent to get rid of it.
I think it's very prudent to get rid of it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely
I
prudent.
think
to
it's
get rid of
prudent to get rid of it. I need prudent to go up a level. So
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have to get rid of it. Unfortunately.
Is it prudent to get rid of the Shield of Einherjar at level 6?
Now, yes, it would be prudent to get rid of the Shield of Einherjar.
at level 5 too.
But
man.
the item that Morg wants is his shield. You could perhaps give Morg the Shield of Einherjar, and then at least you'll know where it is in the campaign.
Well, we know where it is in the campaign. It's in the shield vault, and we know how to
Yeah,
get
if you
into
can
the
never
shield
get
vault.
back down here safely,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Or we risk ticking off Morg, which strikes me as a bad thing.
okay. So you're going to bring out Morg's shield.
Yes.
Okay. When you bring out Morg's shield, it looks exactly like the Shield of Einherjar.
Of course it does.
Yeah. In fact, when you look into the shield vault, there was only one thing in there. If you follow what I'm saying.
It was just we put the shield in, and then we say, "Oh, here it is. It's the shield."
Yeah, exactly. So it may not be called the Shield of Einherjar to Morg, or somewhere along the way, Morg
It's a demon.
put his shield away, and somebody else brought it back out. I can't even remember how you got it. I think it was just a random knight on the side of the road gave
It's
it to
just
Laura.
a shield that becomes
a
what it's a
personal
demon
event,
that
right?
becomes whatever you
Yeah, it was
want,
the
right?
dying guy.
It's a dying guy that gave up the Shield of Einherjar. All right, well, so the only thing left before we call it quits would be to go through the equations here and see if I can get you guys some freebies on your swords. We'll start with Tony and go around the table. Tony, you choose 7 metals.
Or one of 7 metals, right?
Yes, 1 of 7 metals.
Let's go titanium.
Titanium is a base of 19. That's a very high number. You wish to continue?
Ooh, these are. I see. These are the numbers I have to roll or something.
No, and it's
Right.
I'm making an equation here.
No,
So,
and then the next.
Let's just say there is no swaggering number 22. So
yeah, okay.
But there's a swaggering all of them.
But he minus the mineral before.
I let Tony step aside for the moment. Bruce, you've already done yours, so I go on to me. I skip. Rusty, pick a metal, please.
Pick a metal. Let's see here. I got to look at this list here that's scrolled up. I'm going to pick. Which metal did Bruce pick?
Bruce picked Rhenium.
Rhenium. Okay, I'll take it. I like nickel.
You like nickel? Okay, it starts with a base of 9. And Rusty, what essential mineral do you add to your metal?
Let's see. Essential mineral. Let's see. Everything. I got to go back and look what they. So
they're in the chat, Rusty.
I'll take aluminum for the mineral.
Okay, so you have nickel is 9 minus 7 for aluminum is a 2. As you do this, the metal appears to be very milky in color. And what is your final ingredient?
All right. So the final ingredient.
Do I need to repost the?
Would be well. No, I can see it. It's we'll pick Erbium.
Rubidium. You gain scintillating.
No, not Erbium. ERBIUM.
Oh, Erbium. Okay. Erbium. You also gain a random personal swaggering for using the item. Let me roll that. 4. And your milky blade will be B, mucilage.
Okay, I already have mucilage, so do I lock it as glorious?
You most certainly do. Bruce, I said that you had the ice blade, right?
Yes.
And the ice blade, you realize, 13, 4, 8, 12, is a hellish blade.
Oh, okay.
Okay, does everyone see the formula here?
Glorious, then?
So my personal was D.
If you yes, and your personal that you got was chiasmic action out of it. Now, Bruce, if you, I'm sorry, not Bruce. Everyone else, you can see the correlation here. I think, right?
Yep.
You're going to get one number and subtract a number, or add a number, and then that's going to correspond. As long as it's between 1 and 20, you're going to end up with a blade swaggering. So I'll go around the table. Who's ready to do their equation?
I'll repeat.
Tony,
what
are
Rusty
you back
just,
ready?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so let's start with Tony. Tony, you started with a titanium, which was a
Correct.
19.
Yep. And then I'll add.
You want to add 1 to that, make it a 20, or you make it a golden blade?
Yeah, I am going to add zinc to that.
Okay, add zinc to that to make a golden blade. All right, you can either get it or lock it. But now, before it can actually become a golden blade, you have to pick your final ingredient. Did you want to just go safe and do Erbium and get a random personal swaggering? Or did you want to take a chance and do something else, like boron, dysprosium, rubidium, or tellurium?
Let's try dysprosium. Let's see what happens.
Okay. A moment after accepting the prize back from Glitnor, the ally explodes for a vicious in your hand. You do get the blade, but
oof. Okay.
the dysprosium ends up. You weren't wounded before, were you?
No. If I can use my rugged to absorb that.
You can use rugged to absorb that. Yep.
Okay.
And we move to.
So I get no. I do get golden or not golden.
You do. You just it costs you a vicious wound to get it. And Conrad.
I was going to pick what Rusty's combination.
So you're going to end up with a milky blade for mucilage
Yeah, mucilage, and then I think it picked up chiasmic action, right?
And chiasmic action, yes.
Oh, well, I'm going to roll random for yours if you decide to put
okay.
the Erbium in it. And
yeah, that's
here
fine.
It is.
Yep.
It's a 10, and the random personal swaggering is ferocity, Jay.
Ferocity, which is good, so I had that, so it's marked.
And Laura, which combination of metal and mineral do you put together with Glitner?
What does boron add or subtract?
It's in the chat.
Boron?
Yeah, boron is a poison. That's at the end, and we don't know what boron would give. It could be good, it could be bad. Like we know dysprosium is not something probably anyone wants.
So the easy path on this, Laura, is pick which blade swagger you want, and we'll see if we know the math to get there, right?
Yes.
So I want this, and then we'll see if we can make the combination work for you. Or Red can tell us that every combination works.
That's tricky. I wanted to see what the titanium did, but
It's going to roll a die, right?
Well, titanium is a metal and starts at 19. Tony actually put titanium in there, and then when he added the zinc to it, he got the golden blade out of it.
Yeah, but it also exploded.
Well, it
No, that was the
exploded
poison
because-
that made it explode.
Yeah, he still has a golden blade. The explosion came because he covered it with
If you do
dysprosium.
Personal swaggering.
If you wish, you can try that, and you could throw boron into the mix if you.
Okay, he used a different one. Yeah, I was trying to use things that I already had too.
Yeah, go for it. See what happens if you go above 20.
Well, if you go above
20, it's not going to work.
Yeah, if you
what's
go
the
above
worst that
20,
could happen?
it's titanium starts at 19. If you decided that you're going to add 5 to it with lead, titanium and lead is going to generate who knows.
No, I'd be more likely to do titanium and maybe germanium.
Titanium is going to be 19. Germanium subtracts 16. You're going to be at a 3. Laura, your blade is it quivers as an alloy, and you find that it's bounding.
I already have that. Okay. I guess I can lock it as glorious.
Yeah, you would mark it as glorious, but you have to, before you can mark that as glorious, you have to give him a poison to bind it all.
Let's go with Erbium.
Yeah, I was doing boron.
Okay, you're gonna go with a boron, or you're gonna have Mike's suggestion of erbium.
Well, I didn't pick up any erbium. I picked up boron.
Boron is gain a swaggering corresponding to the number produced. So you produced number 3, so you're gonna pick up personal swaggering C, charismatic style, please.
I'll lock it as glorious.
Okay, very good. So she'll lock 2 things as glorious. And Mike, I'm up to you as our one of our last participants here.
Go ahead and look in the chat.
Mike is going to get a gladiatorial blade, and he adds boron to it, and he's going to also get 18 as personal swaggering, which is going to be speed and guile. And somebody needs to decide for Ogle.
What does he need, Red?
Well, locking golden is nice.
Well, so it seems like
we
speed
can do
and
the
guile
same
is
way
what
as
everyone uses a lot, right? So why don't we get you speed and guile and gladiatorial?
Yeah. Well, I've already got gladiatorial locked as glorious.
Okay, so that one's no good for you. How about Killer Instinct? That's another one that everyone likes.
Well, that would be an N, and that would give my blade impetus, so you'd have to generate a total of 14. And
if you wanted to lock that golden as glorious, you could always go with the titanium and the beryllium, which would give you the golden at glorious, and then if you wanted to add in the boron, that would give you wrestling holds, which gives you the horizontal bonus, right?
It sounds like a good idea, and I'll go ahead and take Mike's suggestion there and call it a day. All right,
good.
So we have.
Are these blades desires fulfilled or completion of the mission desire fulfilled?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can I take that?
Yes, you may.
I'll take a desire to fulfill.
I will check Bard's Tale for this whole situation.
Oh, yeah, Fame's a good one.
Yeah.
And we have
I'll take Fame.
well, actually, I'm gonna pick up a second one of the Shield Vault. Seeing the Shield Vault in work, I think, is probably going to give me a.
That's magic for you.
Well, no, I've already got magic. I've got magic some of that. I'm gonna basically call that the dangerous encounter. Watching Tony take his electrical shock and avoiding it.
Can I take growth for leading us all through this thing?
Not at your level unless you define it with a personality trait. Growth and what? If you want to always be the leader, I'll let you do that, and you'll always be the one that'll be the spokesperson for the party.
Until we have democracy.
In this group?
Yes, that would be in this
sure.
group.
I'll be the leader.
Okay, you'll have to be. You're their de facto leader. If we ever have somebody we push forward saying, "Who's the leader responsible for this?" It'll be you, Rusty.
I'm a selfless leader then. Good.
Well, that's always nice to have a selfless leader. All right,
traveling through this underworld, I'm going to take adventure, travel, and trade for it.
You may. I'm going to. We are at the end of this mission, and we are at the end of this underworld. To get back out, you actually can take the epilogue and try to look for more money along the way, or we can save that for another date with another underworld. And when we come back in 2 weeks, we're going to continue on, I believe, with Cutlass, though. And then so it's going to be 3 weeks before we come back with a new mission for Outlands. And next week, we're going to try to beta test Era 10, if everyone's on the same page. Everyone follow?
Please note my new tag there, having reached level 8.
Woo! Woohoo!
Wow.
Stallari.
I'll check an ignoble for that. Oh, I don't need ignobles anymore.
No, there's nowhere to go. But,
nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go but filling out your sheet and your bingo card or down.
Yeah. Back to home. Back home. Sit on the porch.
Well,
I remember the clockmaker.
At least
He's making the rains.
The pools on your estate are always filled with water from knowing the clockmaker.
Indeed.
All right.
We are still in the epilogue, correct?
We'll be in the epilogue. I'll either hand wave it or I'll let you use your epilogue to try to rescue the mayor or some other thing along the way, or I can make it a future quest.
Loot is good because we have estates to pay for.
I believe we're a lot of you have extra money to invest in your estates. I believe the next mission is going to be related to the daughter of Triton to end that family and capture her in a bottle. Okay. All right, well, that's where we'll leave it.
Go.
There, guys.
Laura and I both leveled up to 6. We both get languages for that. I already speak Varangia, Khazar, Greek, Legzin, Hypatia, and Rus. What are my other options?
Do you have the one that begins with L? That's the Saurian language, right?
Legzin?
Yes.
I have that.
Okay. Well, you can pick one of the dwarf languages, I guess, Avar or you're just going to have to go into the table there, Mike, and
there's a table for that, of course.
Yeah. Just don't let the dwarves know you speak their language.
Yeah, you're not supposed to ever let the dwarves know you speak their language. But you can speak the dialect of the people above where the dwarves live, and they'll understand it. All right, everyone, now I'm going to call it quits there. I will see you in next week.
Night.
Languages, example campaign
have a good one.
languages.